Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Watching the Throne on the Late Night Chat Network, your first stop for pop culture talk. And this is episode 105. You guys are too much.
It was a sea serpent dance, man. I'm telling you,
Yeah, you guys are
Oh,
too
that's
much.
good. Sea serpent dance. I like that.
But yes, welcome back, everybody, to Watching the Throne. This is episode 105, as I mentioned, and today we're going to be talking about House of the Dragon season 3, episode 6, which is called "The Faceless Men." The Faceless Men.
Mm-hmm.
Which actually was something that Christina had alluded to. I mean, didn't you? You had mentioned the faceless men there. I think last episode. Did you not?
It was, if it wasn't last episode, it was the episode before, because it was like, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was the last one. I think you started getting towards into that.
Yeah, it was
where
the
stuff.
guy with the two-tone eyes, and it was reference to the two-tone doors of the Jagan Haga or whatever that guy's name is, and yeah, with Arya, and yeah.
Although I think the intention of this name of the episode is not maybe so much in regards to those people, or I don't know. I think it could mean there's could be multiple meaning behind the name of the episode here, honestly.
Actually, yeah, like what did you think? Because I there was one reference. Anyways, what did you think? Because I'll tell you my thoughts, but
of why the episode is called this?
Yeah.
I don't know if this was in reference to. I don't know if it was to the reference to the killers, like you had talked about last episodes, or whenever you had mentioned that, so much as to maybe this was also like a comment on Kristen's people, or just some of the people in this episode in general, right? Like, I don't know if they're trying to comment on some of the men in this story so much by calling them this, or if it was quite literal and it actually did refer to like the faceless men themselves, right? So that I'm not really sure, to be honest. I haven't really given it much thought, but I'm like, but sometimes like the names of the titles of these episodes are referring to sometimes not the most obvious of things, right? Sometimes they're just using these play on word type things, like these things that we know to be things within this universe to comment on other stuff that happened in the episode, right? So that's why I'm actually not too sure. I don't know. What do you think, Jay?
I think it has to do with there was that little interaction at the end with Damon trying to be like going around looking for everybody.
Well, that's what that would be what Christina was kind of more leaning towards, right?
But I don't necessarily know if that was really what the faceless men. I think what they're talking about is that there is no one person in that sense.
Yeah.
Right. Not so much that I don't think so much that reference thing that what Christina was talking about with the school there, where she was with the masks and all that, back in Game of Thrones, right? So
it could also be referring to people that fall like in war, like Kristen and his people, that he thinks that people were going to talk about them, but at the end of the day, they're not going to be remembered for anything, really. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it is more to that, saying that like everyone wants to believe that they're going to be these like he was
big heroes
going on that last episode. They're going to sing songs about me and blah blah blah. I'll be in the books. And meanwhile, like at the end of the day, that was just a very small fight in the middle of the woods in this episode that occurred, right? That maybe no one will recall as time goes on, right? So I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm like, I thought it had some more to do with that, right? Maybe about legacy, right? I don't know, like maybe about like but what were you gonna say, Christina? Sorry to cut you off there.
Rhaenyra, so not even relevant to like that or those people or anything, but like Rhaenyra makes a comment to Daemon when she's speaking to him at the council, like when he's losing his mind, and she makes a comment to him about like sometimes, like when she's talking about assassins, she's like, sometimes it's the plain-faced man that's like the most dangerous.
When they were
So
kinda,
that's when I was like, I wonder if like that's what she's talking about like the sneak attack. I don't know, or the like not being the obvious choice. Maybe I don't know. Like that's when I was like, I wonder if that's what it means, but I don't know. I don't.
That's a good point. I mean, if she actually had that line of dialogue, I didn't pick up on that. What's going on again, Ashley? Yeah, see, this is what she's saying here. I thought it maybe had to more do with that. But
yeah, that makes sense.
It
that
could
makes
also
sense.
have multiple meanings, right? That's it's funny though you mentioned that. There's like there's a movie called, it's like a Korean movie called like Memories of Murder that's really good. That like what you're saying, Christina. You know that movie? You know that I've been talking about. So basically in it though, like he's it's like the start of him like in Korea. I think it's about them, like the police force, like when they start their investigative, like they're investigating murders for the first time. It's about the creation of that there. And like you were just saying, in his mind he's built up this murderer to be this crazy murderer that he can't track down. And basically at the end of the movie, he realizes that it could be just any
a
guy,
regular Joe Schmo on the street.
Exactly. But it's what we make of it in our mind that actually creates these things.
Just the fear and
it's like the monster that you're building in your head, that it's just like, it's just a regular, it's, you know.
And that's what's going on with Daemon right now.
It's your Ted Bundy, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what happens. There's an actual like some sort of saying for that. Like when you leave somebody in suspense like that, like if you go up to them and you say, "Hey, did you hear anything yet? Did they tell you yet?" And then you just walk away. You don't wait for the answer or nothing like that. And then you leave them fucking eating alive at their head and try to figure it out. You know what I mean? It really puts it into a different perspective, right? It's a way of thinking.
Yeah, so maybe that's kind of what Damon's been dealing with in the city, right? Because he's like, I don't know who this murderer is. No one's seen anything. He's killing all our men, like, and you know, he's kind of spiraling out. Yeah, this guy loves spiraling, is what I'm realizing, because like with these between him and Rhaenyra, I mean, last season, you know, he's spiraling in Harrenhal. He's having his visions there. In this one, he's being haunted by whoever's damning them in the city, right? Like whoever's killing all his the Kingsguard people, right? Or sorry, City Watch people. So yeah, interesting stuff. So Christina is actually going to be the one directing us through the episode here today. Thank you for doing that, by the way.
Oh, no problem.
I literally just traveled back today, so got back just in time to do this episode here this afternoon. So I'm really happy about that. So just traveled back from being away. So yeah, Christina, you take it away whenever. Well, I guess we go into initial thoughts, I guess, of the episode though.
Yes. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So
you start. Yeah. What did you think?
This episode was like full of information. I mean, I initially was like, oh, what a slow burn. Like, you know, I was like, oh, like here we go, another slow burn. But you know what? Like upon rewatching it and writing the notes, I'm like, there is so much content here. I ended up really enjoying this episode. There's a lot here that I really enjoyed.
I agree. This was
a lot of pieces being put into place.
Yeah. Oh, and my favorite part of the episode, like let's just, you know, kick it off like right away. You know,
the dance.
So I
shed a tear.
I have placed a poll, and if you type 1 in the chat, you say yes, you are upset to see Kristen Cole get killed this episode. If you type 2 in the chat, it'll be no. And it can be for whatever reasons. I mean, we can get into it. I'll leave the poll up, and hopefully if people come in through the chat here today, we can get some answers logged and have people comment it. We can comment it.
Did Ashley spam too?
Yeah. We could comment on why, the reasoning as to why at the end of the episode. But yeah, there you have it. I'll leave that up on the screen here in the corner because I don't think it's bothering anybody.
Definitely not Ashley.
No, because I think it's worth mentioning, right? I think it's I think it's worth mentioning because obviously this is a built up death within this whole season, really. And especially after last episode where he kind of made it very clear what he was looking to set out to do. And
I mean, it was a big storyline plot that goes missing, bro. After now, this regardless of what you think, it's been going on for what, the whole series now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a nothing death, right?
He wanted a big paycheck and he wasn't doing anything for it.
I agree with you guys, though. I loved this episode. I thought it was great. I think this is better than the last two that we got, while having a lot of stuff going on still. I think between the last two episodes, they were just moving the story along. We felt like, and they definitely probably at the bottom of my ranking. Those two. But out of everything so far, but this was a strong episode. I mean, not only for the reasons we just mentioned, a lot of kind of big things happened in some of the plot lines that we're following, and interesting things are developing, and also possibly multiple deaths. I mean, the way the episode ended too, I'm pretty sure that's it for him too, to be honest with you. For Corliss, I'm pretty sure that's it, which I called. If it is, you don't think so?
I don't think so.
We haven't seen it yet. Yes. If not him, a bunch of his men got killed. Maybe he got taken.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe he got taken prisoner because he did show that he respected Corliss. He had talked about this, Ormond, in this episode.
Yes.
How I like him. And listen, I think a lot of people are going to start to see switch sides. I think that's the other big thing we're going to start to see happening here. And Christina, you had talked about it an episode or two ago with Ulf. And how his character is panning out. And I don't think it's been any more clearer than in this episode, where I'm just like, okay, you've disrespected this man for the last 3 episodes now. How much more is he going to take? Like, he's clearly unhappy. Like he's clearly unhappy. He does have control of a dragon. Like, this is gonna, I think, create new allies for the Hightowers. The way that things are gonna shake out now, because you have a lot of unhappy campers. I mean, as you do for anybody to ascend to get to take the throne, you're gonna piss off a lot of people on the way up, right? As we've seen happen in these shows, like you're gonna piss a lot of people on the way up, and you know, there's nothing you can do about that, right? So I don't know. I think she's in trouble, quite frankly. I think these next 2 episodes are going to be big, man. Like, there's got to be some big things happening. I hope we really end on a doozy of a finale, because I don't know if you guys heard, but it is once again not coming back for 2 years. I believe I just heard confirmation of that the other day. Yes.
Well, they got to throw in the egg and thing.
Well, I was going to say, there is a possibility we are going to get another show next year, though, other than
for like 6 episodes and like 30 minutes each episode. No, like, what the hell?
Not just the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, though. They're talking about another one happening, possibly, or that movie or whatever, the Aegon's Conquest one or whatever. Like, I think they're doing a spinoff of some sorts. Another one. There is another one, I think, coming. It's not official when it's coming out, but I think that there's a possibility we might get that hopefully next summer, maybe fall. I'm hoping.
Like, how long are they going to drag out this show, though? Like, come on. Like,
2
why
years.
haven't you filmed it?
2 years. I swear, unless something changes. That's what I read. I read it is going to be another 2 years. I know, it sucks. I mean, or at least we're going to have a Night of the Seven Kingdoms to talk about next year, but that might just be it, honestly.
Now I'm mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I'm going to go search like Ormond Hightower on this.
No, I know. It's disappointing. I was really hoping they came out with this and ended it next summer. And, you know, by the time that, okay, let's see, Night of the Seven Kingdoms comes out consecutively every year now. By the time we get our last season of Night of the Seven Kingdoms, this will not be over. Because if that comes early January again, like they're saying that, like, it probably will, then you got to think I think they only said there's going to be 3 seasons of that show, right? So that means that we'll have already completed that show by the time that we complete this show in
Oh
2
my
years.
god, it's like 7 years for 4
I know.
seasons. It's
Pretty bad.
crazy.
Pretty bad.
They were pumping out a season a year with Game of Thrones, it seemed like, until the last like 3 seasons, and then it was like every 2 years or something.
Yeah, so I'm
Come
sorry.
on, this
Sorry
is
to be the bearer of bad
crazy.
news, but I think the news is out there already. I believe I was just reading this.
Hey, they're putting a video game on, like on your phone if you want.
I saw that too. No, but that's why I said it's rumored that there's going to be another spinoff that comes out next year. I think
I don't care. Like,
I'm just saying. I mean, I know we need things to talk about here, so we can keep doing this thing.
I know.
Anyways, yeah, it's disappointing. Like I said, I don't like to disappoint, but unfortunately, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Seems to be the trending topic for you.
For anybody who doesn't know, that was a joke off a last episode talking about Eamon, not myself. But sure, sometimes. Anyways, Christina,
take it away.
But yeah, so it sounds like we're all in agreement. This is a good episode, though. So yeah, it's good stuff. Better than the last 2 for sure. I think this is
agreed.
I don't think anything's going to dethrone the top first 3 episodes in terms of the like whatever order you want to put them in, as we discussed last time. But I think this is right underneath those. It's better than the last 2. So I think hopefully we trend upwards now towards the finale of this, and I hope it's a doozy of one because not getting another season for 2 years.
So frustrating. So frustrating.
Yeah. But yeah, go ahead.
Anywho. Yeah, so okay, we'll just start. Opening scene. Again, tapestry's changing. I noticed that Corlys is back in the fold under Rhaenyra, so that's kind of cool. There's 2 people fighting over something, maybe a gold cloak. I don't know. There was changes. And it seems like, like I know in the past we've maybe seen things in the tapestry opening credits that like have already happened, but now it seems like it's things that are about to happen or will happen. It's not, because a lot of that these new changes haven't really happened yet. Anyways, I just noticed those 2 things, so I thought I'd mention that. Okay, but opening scene of the actual episode, we have Criston Cole and his army walking through the woods. And me and Nico were talking about this. If anyone knows, please put it in the chat. What is this Grey's Anatomy character? Like, what's his name? But it seems like Criston Cole's like next in charge kind of guy, his like go-to guy. Anyways, he tells him that the Tullys have been there. They've come across this camp. And it looks kind of deserted, kind of barren. And but something seems off. It's deserted there, but it's tattered. There's dead bodies, and looks like there's decay, maggots, flies, like all over the place. Everyone's like, what the army is walking around. They're unsure of what happened. There doesn't seem to be a sign of a fight. Like Criston Cole feels like there's something off. And then he says out loud, like, they did not die here. They did not fall here. So he's obviously intuitive enough to know that like this they didn't die here. And then the next thing you know, the rivermen, like there were some alive men that were hidden on purpose underneath these dead bodies. They come up, ambush his army, and a fight ensues. And it was I don't know, I thought it was a great scene. Criston Cole brought out his mace or whatever you want to talk, whatever he used, and we saw.
I think he just grabbed that from. Did he have that, or I thought he just grabbed it off the floor at one point?
I think he grabbed it, but if like he used it in season 1, if we can remember, probably not, when he was introduced during the tournament, and he took out Daemon with the mace. So that's obviously his like weapon of choice. Mm-hmm. Sir Edgar, thank you, Ashley. I could not find it. I wasn't. Anyways, thank you. Yeah. So, anyways, they wipe out. The Criston Cole's army wipes out whichever rivermen were like in that little camp. Mm-hmm. And they, you know, Kristen Cole, like once they defeat everyone, starts chanting like "We light the way," which is the Hightower house statement, like it's their house statement. And they're all cheering. They think they've won victory, and then the next thing, they realize it was a setup, and now they're surrounded by Rivermen all around them. Oscar Tully, he comes ahead with the head of the Sir Roderick. Anyways,
Another guy.
the head guy of the Winter Wolves, and
Oh yeah. Big guy.
he yells out to Kristen Cole, basically like calls him a traitor, calls him a, you know, all the thing, deserter, all the things, and basically asks him how he wants to die, and they negotiate.
Usurper.
Yeah, he calls him a usurper, like all the things. And then Kristen Cole was basically just like, I'll just fight you guys. Like, what about you two against me?
Two against
And
one, yeah.
like before he takes out his this handkerchief that Allison gives him.
Hey,
from
okay,
his,
okay. Put it as a toll. Are we ever gonna see that handkerchief somehow magically appear again somewhere
No.
with the A on
That
it?
is-
You never
that
know.
is-
It was very romantic. It was nice of him, man. Like, you know, he remembered.
For what? It's like
she
it's a good
hasn't thought
throwaway-
about him in like 6 episodes.
It's a
Like,
it's
move
a
on.
romance. It's a romance that's left lost. Like
But it's keeping him going, bro.
not really.
That's
It
what was
is.
keeping him pushing.
I
It was
agree with
pushing him
Jay.
forward. It kept making it. Maybe if he was making the wrong decisions or not, it was pushing him forward. It was giving him something to look forward
I get what
to.
you're saying, but I'll save my comments for when she finishes out the scene here, because
Yeah.
I have comments on this whole scene as a whole. Like I have thoughts on this, despite my feelings on whether or not I was happy to see him killed. But go ahead, Christina.
Yeah, so he pulls out Allison's handkerchief, wraps it around the hilt of his sword, and just as he's about to get ready to battle Black Allie, who we've seen in other episodes, don't really know too much about her, but there's a huge backstory with her. She shoots him 3 times with arrows, twice in the stomach and once in the face. And down he goes, and then the rest of the Rivermen charge Kristen Cole with the remainder of Kristen Cole's army, and seemingly that's it for them.
I think they should at least give him that opportunity to fight. Man, come on, like you just killed him off. Like that was just
no. They shouldn't have. This is the thing. What do we know about Game of Thrones? Nobody who thinks that they're a hero in their own story like this get a death that they deserve. None of these guys get these deaths. That's the thing. That's the ironic thing about this. That's the beauty of this series, is that over and over again, they build up some of these heroic characters, and they never get the satisfying death that you think they deserve. Very rarely, if any time. And this guy was a character who a lot of people didn't like. Some of us amongst the fans here, right? Like in the chat, Christina. I think he's had some good moments these last couple of episodes, and I'm here for it. But I think he went out like a bitch here, and at the same time, it's just like this is what he wanted, though. This is what he wanted. He wanted to die on the battlefield, and guess what? He died on the battlefield. Yes, he had his little moment where he wrapped her fucking handkerchief there around his sword, and he had this listen, there's only 10 of us, there's like 1 million of you guys, we'll take out some of you guys. Like, this guy was ready to go down fighting.
Yeah, well, we're gonna go down fighting. Yeah.
No, but honorable like, is such a bullshit. I almost said schmonorable or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's so, no one would put up with that bullshit when there's one guy acting cocky out on a battlefield with 10 fucking other people. Like, why are we wasting time with this shit? That's why that woman sniped them. It's like, okay, enough of this shit. You fucked with us a while. He did take out a bunch of their people. Let's not forget. He was successful.
Their army did.
He gave them a run for their money, like for a moment, until they got the drop on him completely after going ahead of him in the woods and basically messing with him every step he took, like from the halfway through the last episode. Like they really
set him up to that position.
Absolutely,
they leaded him right. They led him right to it.
Multiple times, not just once. They burned the bridges. They caught him in this trap where they made it seem like there was he thought he was the smart one, but he doesn't know he's a stranger in these lands. You know what I mean? Like, you don't fucking go into someone else's territory and think you fucking know everything like this guy did. This guy had a death wish. right? Say what you want about Gwen. Whether
I
or
mean, he
not
did say it. Really, was the last episode. He really did say he wants to go down
exactly. So
fighting.
why
He
you
had
feel
nothing.
sorry for this guy after he got shot in the face like a
no,
bitch?
it's not that. It's
Like,
just. It's not that. Okay, but I didn't. Yeah, I didn't like it. The guy shot like a bitch. I would just like to see another little bit of a fighting scene. I know he got a good fighting scene right in the beginning because he was kicking ass.
It's not Game of Thrones way, especially for a character like this, right, Christina? Am I right?
Yeah, 100%.
That's just
100%.
Right?
No, I agree. I agree with you, Nico. I rejoiced. I was thankful and happy.
But if on Game of Thrones, if you're the cripple in Game of Thrones, if you're the cripple, you last forever.
We've seen that happen. Exactly.
Right? The ones you don't want to stick around. All right, Nico.
Yeah. So that was the end of Kristen Cole, and we all rejoiced, and all was right.
Dance.
All was right in the world. And that was the end of the episode. No, I'm kidding.
Listen, it was a good scene. I think
it was a great scene.
I think it was a great scene. Regardless of what you thought about this character, I think like between what happened at the end of last episode and what happened here to start off this episode, I thought he had a good way. That's the thing. That's just the thing. I think he did go out in a good way. I liked his death, quite frankly. Like I didn't like him really much either. Like I'm with Christina, but I got to give it up to him these last couple episodes. Like he made me care about him for a hot minute, and then they just did away with him in a way that was, I think, proper for this character to go out. Like honestly, yeah.
You know what I just like thought about? I think like even like he had 3 arrows in him, and I think it was obviously for a dramatic effect because the first 2 were just like, and then it was like, oh, the face one was like sick. And I think the same thing with Jace. Like when Jace died, he got shot twice with arrows in the body and then once in the neck. And then it was like it was the same kind of dramatic. I think they're doing this on purpose. Like maybe, I don't know. There's got to be something with these like 3 arrow things. Maybe I'm looking into this too much. Anyways.
Not necessarily killing anybody when you're puncturing a lung, right?
Yeah, right. I don't know. It just, they could have just shot him in the face and just been done with it. Like,
no, you know? I guess get him right through the eye. She tried. She wasn't close.
But yeah, exactly. Thanks. Yes, Ashley. We watched it together.
Oh, nice. You guys got together this week to watch it. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked it. I mean, again, I like this guy or not. I think it was a good way to go out.
Okay.
So the scene kind of goes black, and the next scene is a very quick scene where Alicent and Helena, who have been trapped in that secret passage, they're found by guards. And that was just there was no dialogue.
I like
it
how
faded out, faded in the darkness. Yeah. And then scene after this, we're brought to the Queen's Council, which is, I think, everybody enjoys. Daemon is very upset about how many of the men, the gold cloaks that he have been lost to this assassin, this mystery assassin that's taking over Flea Bottom. Rhaenyra questions where her army is. Maester Orwell says that they're about 2 weeks march out. Daemon insists that they burn all of Tumbleton. Just, be done with it. Just burn them down, make a point. Like, this is crazy. We don't have 2 weeks to wait, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mysaria speaks out, again, how this will look bad to the people, for the people, like on Rhaenyra. Daemon insists that he's going to just go himself. And, we have dragons and this is crazy. And then Lady Frey, Sabitha Frey, I think she's a Frey. She, sarcastic as all can be, tries to, condones like the use of dragons and talks about how direct and accurate and all the things that they are. And of course her buddy, Mr. Sir Torrin Manderly,
Master of Coin.
He continues the sarcasm and whatever. He doesn't even finish his sentence before Daemon whips a cup at his head.
Fuck. I love that. That was awesome.
You think you're clever, don't you, Manderly?
No, this line, I loved it. It was like, oh, I'll hear no more from those whose greatest battles have been from indigestion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was great. Alan He shockingly agrees that dragons are not the greatest idea at this time and it's probably best to wait for the army. Again, Damon pushes back and he's pleading to Rhaenyra, bringing up the prophecy. Rhaenyra's sacred calling, basically like whatever you do is in the service as queen is justified. So like, don't worry about what this looks like to people. You'll be,
He'll be
sanctioned.
okay.
Like it'll be fine. He's very desperate in this episode to just get approval to go do whatever he wants. He uses Aegon the Conqueror as an example of fire, referring to the Field of Fire. Rhaenyra explains it was, that was an example of Aegon like burning enemies. It had nothing to do with loyal subjects. Oh yeah, and then Damon, where my name comes from, he basically says that the subjects would follow a mule, it would bend the knee to a mule if like it was on the throne. So like they're loyal mules. Anyway, then she mentioned Viserys and how he would hate this idea, and then
Yes.
Damon, of
There he
course,
goes,
is
of
like,
course.
oh,
There
of
we
course.
go.
Yeah,
There,
here we go.
yeah.
There it is.
Again, I got to give it up to Matt Smith.
He's a great actor. Eh?
He is so like that part. I was gonna mention it afterwards
He's
too.
sitting like this.
When he says that, like when he basically prods her into basically admitting that's why she will not take this course of action.
He let it right into it.
Yeah, he's like, there we have it. He's like, I've had enough of it.
That's it. I'm gone. Fuck this.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
He's like, you're gonna
really,
talk about my brother. Fuck this shit.
Really well done. Really well done.
Yeah,
but
so
he's just sitting there at the council. That's what I like. And Alan is so like polite and sitting there all nice and straight backed, and and he's the only one. Yeah, very respectful out of all of them. He's probably the only one. And Damon's sitting back with his leg like this, his leg up,
or he's like in Rhaenyra's face and he's like pounding the table. Yeah. So Rhaenyra, after Damon scoffs and tries to dismiss her, she says, I agree, this isn't what my father would want, but like my patience is thin. I do have a plan. I will send knives to deal with this situation in Tumbleton. Damon assumes she's talking about him, but Rhaenyra has to like remind him, no, it's not you. Like, you have to stay here. You have to take care of what's happening with the gold cloaks and the city watch. Like, that's your thing. I'll send somebody else. Alan offers the Valyrian, whatever's left of the Valyrian campaign, the men, to kind of take over the city watch or to go into Tumbleton, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she asks him, Alan, to talk to Corlys about sending more men. Maester Orwyle asks who's going to Tumbleton, and then Sir Lionel, I guess the Rhaenyra's like personal guard, he interjects the council and says that there's a fleet of Baratheons are here to meet with Rhaenyra.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, yeah, that was the end of that scene. Any extra thoughts?
What's a party without a Baratheons?
I do like that the Baratheons showed up in this episode, sure, even though it's not like Boros who we were promised. I think they find that out here in a moment. But I also like the inclusion of something else that you'll get to in a scene later on. And I know Jay pretty much loved it as well. I love a lot of these references of things that like we've seen throughout the history of Game of Thrones episodes, and now they're making an appearance now that we're touching. We're seeing all these different areas of the world that we've kind of like, that have been referenced before. I just love when that's even something little like this, where you got Lannisters in the mix, you got Baratheons somewhat in the mix. Like I do appreciate that their use of
talking about Essos, they're talking about
Bravos,
and they're talking about what I mean, like so.
The veil is heavily used again. Like, yeah, I love that they're really, and even the people, like there's a stark representation and from the north and the Riverland stuff. Like, yeah, it's I just love the use of all this kind of stuff. I'm just glad that the focus is not entirely alone just on Targaryen stuff.
Targaryens.
Yeah, like last season, it was like very, very heavily just all Targaryens. It seemed like even though there was a couple of like parlays with like the stuff that her son did with the North and all this, like, and then yeah, there was some Vale stuff, but not to this degree. I think they're really, because everybody has to pick a side at this point. Like, we're really seeing them run through all of the families that we kind of know. Not all of them yet, but a bunch of them, which I really appreciate. So yeah, that's all I want to say. And these council scenes are great, like you said.
Yeah,
I love them
for sure.
We have, so now there's Rhaenyra. She's entering, I guess, the courtyard in the Red Keep to a host of messengers from the Baratheons. Lord Boros Baratheon is not with them, and that's who Rhaenyra is wanting to speak to, and she questions why he's not there. And this messenger says, apologies, he is in the Red Mountains fighting off the Vulture King. Who that is, I don't know, but anyways, he obviously thinks he has more important things to do than answer the Queen's call, which pisses Rhaenyra off
even more.
She's like, who does he think he is? I've summoned him. What's more important than coming to me and my aid? This is crazy, and she basically says like, oh, I should take your head as like a traitor instead. And he's like, oh, apologies. I mean, no offense. Like, we mean no offense, like all the things. And he's like, oh, I'm here to serve you. Like, anything we can do to help, let us know. And she oddly asks him for his belt.
I know. I was still trying to figure that fucking part out.
I don't know what that means.
Did she want him to drop his pants? I'm starting to figure what belt.
I mean,
like the sigil belt, maybe, or something.
There's a scene later that. Oh, yeah. Now I get it.
Okay, because they wanted the camouflage.
It just came to me.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just came to me.
I was gonna let you guys get there. I was that's why, obviously.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later, but now I get it.
The scent scene.
Yes. Yeah. Anyways,
that's why.
Okay. Yeah.
At the time, though, you're right. I was also like, this is odd.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? The belt? Yeah. I'm like, what? Anyways, yes. Now I got it. Anyways.
I had thought it was a joke too.
Next scene, so we see Vermithor flying over Templeton. And I don't know about you guys, but every time I see Vermithor in the sky, I think it's Vhagar. I'm just like, oh, there's Vhagar. And then I'm like, oh, wait a second. No, it's Vermithor. I'm kind of just telling the difference from the tail. Like, Vermithor's tail has like a little like wing on it.
Yeah.
Anyways, but like the face and the neck, they look so similar that when I first see Vermithor in the sky, I'm like, oh, that's Vhagar. Like, where is she? And then it's like, oh, wait, no, what? Wrong dragon. Never mind. So Vermithor is flying over Templeton, and is basically Hugh meeting up with Ulf, who's with Silverwing. And it's really cute because Vermithor and Silverwing have a relationship. Like, they're actually mates. So they were like snuggling together. It was really cute.
Yeah.
But so it seems like in this scene, like Hugh and Ulf are switching over. So like, Hugh is now there to take the place of Watch for the next 2 days. But in this scene, they're having an exchange. Ulf is questioning, if they made a mistake or if their life is better now than it was back in the day. He's kind of looking over at Templeton and he's reflecting on his life. He's like, oh, tomorrow's market day. And just like all the things that he did in his regular old life, and he asks Hugh, would you go back? And it's hard to say yes, because they have so much more now than they did before. They're just, just talking about this, commiserating, and also talking about how much has been taken away from them. Like, they've gained so much, but they've also lost a lot as well. So it's an interesting scene setting up like maybe an emotional reaction between the characters and like how they really feel about being dragon lords or
not even an hour with the lads. Not even an hour with the lads. This man just expressing every man's insistence to hang out with his friends.
If you got no friends, what good is a dragon, right? Like you said, if you got no one to show it off to, still reference that.
Yeah, I know. It's just
not wrong.
No, I think it was yeah.
But this is where I could see conflict with the little folk and
absolutely. This is where you see the
this is where the
conflict.
stir up I think starts
So this
slowly
is
brewing.
like this is what I mentioned like last week. I'm like, I think this is going to be a really big fucking problem for Rainier. Excuse my language. I didn't mean to swear, but yeah, I think this is going to be like a problem.
Yeah.
We swear on this show.
I know. Oddly, I feel like I haven't sworn very much, but anyways.
No, you haven't.
Yeah. So that's that scene. And any thoughts? No.
Yeah, just this that we talked about it already is that that you called it. And I give all credit to you on seeing that one. I didn't know if that was going to progress further past like the humiliation of this character originally, just because like we were kind of used to them making fun of this guy a little bit. He kind of was like the more comical of the characters here, but I think like after what happens later in this episode, that's where I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy's gonna fucking
he's gonna go. He's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, I just you can't. It was we'll get to it later. It was that was where I'm just like, he's upset. Maybe he'll come to his senses. Maybe he'll realize that he's better off being with them. But after that next scene later on in the episode, I'm like, yeah, no, he's going to turn. He's going to turn for sure. Because I think he's fed up. Like after, especially the perception of that other scene. But yeah, anyways.
Even Hugh too. I don't know. I'm still iffy on him too as well.
No, he's good. I like him. But he had a bad time.
He has another scene later on too. Yeah. So we don't know, right? What?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Pussy always prevails, bro. Sorry.
Well, next scene, we have Rhaenyra and Alicent. They're talking, I guess, in Rhaenyra's quarters, and Alicent reveals that Helena is pregnant, and Rhaenyra is. This is after This is after Helena and Alicent were caught in the back secret passage.
Yeah.
And Rhaenyra, after learning that Helena is pregnant in this moment, is a little offended that Alicent would think that she couldn't just talk to her about it and tell her this. Like, she just assumes that, she was going to, off with Helena's head about it. So they have this exchange, and Alicent explains why she felt this way, and Rhaenyra is like, I'm not that cruel, and they're just like friends, but it's like a very fine line. And again, Rhaenyra is conflicted because it's like, other people have now seen you, now I have to do something, you've now forced me to do something that I didn't want to do and I didn't have to do if you just told me like straight up. It just seems like they can't get it together because they don't trust each other anymore. Like I don't know, like this very much seems like that kind of a situation.
I see it like they raised by two different people, so you can see that one wants to, and you can remember they were friends, and then one was a stepmother, and then now this is all like crazy now. I feel like she's,
I think there's anyways. Alicent pleads again to save Helena's life. She's always pleading to save her kid's life. I swear that's all she does every episode.
Because she's always she's always fucking it up somehow.
She's like, please just send Helena away, punish me instead. But Rhaenyra doubles down and she says, no, now I'm going to increase security. No more walks to the Godswoods, nothing, no more outside, and Alicent's like, kill Helena. Like, how she is, how fragile she is, she has to be outside. She has to like you can't keep her like locked up. All the things.
Nope.
And and then basically Rhaenyra snaps and was just like, you're not in this position. Like at the end of the day, you're a high tower and my court thinks you the enemy. And Alicent was like, well, and what about you? What do you think? And Rhaenyra's like, don't test me. Like, don't try me right now. And then walks out.
Yeah, it's I feel. I feel like she still does care about her, regardless. I think Rhaenyra is a different type of person, and people, maybe Alicent's playing her the wrong way.
Is this the scene where she grabs her arm, or is that later on?
It's this scene.
Yeah, that was like they're not on that level anymore, right? Like she may have talked to her openly the past episodes this season, and they've had this back and forth with one another. But she looked really pissed when she grabbed her arm, like her guard there grabbed his sword, get her hand off of her, right? So like, yeah, I just think she's just gotten a little bit. She's lost. She yeah, she can't be doing shit like that. Here's the thing. I've been in Allison's corner in terms of like how well she's been kind of like navigating all this shit, and I think she pulled off a crazy amount of stuff that she's pulled off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hats off to her. I think she's done a great job, despite every challenge that's been thrown her way, and there's been many, and she's still dealing with them. But I gotta say, I don't necessarily disagree with Rhaenyra here. I don't. I hate to say it because I'm like, I understand.
She's pushing her into that position to do it.
No, I know. And you can't, it's enough games already here, right? Like, right? Like, enough's enough. Like, unfortunately, this is the positions that we're in, and you're really not leaving me any choice. I've tried to be nice to you. I've tried to like do things in a proper.
Tried to make you as comfortable as possible. Tried to take care of you.
It still feels like she's gonna go away and stab her in the back, right? Like when she escapes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I tried to think of a way to be like, nah, she's being unfair, and I'm like, no, she really isn't anymore at this point. Like, maybe you could have even
not in this instance.
Yes, that's what I mean. You could have even made that argument about some of her decisions up to this point, but not now. I think I really did try to think of it in many ways where I'm just like, oh, I'm Team Allison here, and I'm like, no, I can't be on this one. I side with Rhaenyra on this in this instance, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As Rhaenyra leaves, we're into the next scene where she Mysaria is waiting for her outside in the hall, and Rhaenyra basically tells Mysaria that Helene is pregnant. And Mysaria is asking who knew about it. Like, did Allison reveal who else knows? And Rhaenyra said no, but did you have your suspicions? And Mysaria flat out lies to Rhaenyra, which is like the first time that we've seen, not only she's not omitting information, but she's flat out just lying to her now, which is dangerous because she says, no, I didn't know about this. I didn't have any inkling or whatever. And then that's basically it. But then it kind of quickly goes into a next scene where Mysaria is like overlooking some servants talking and gossiping, and she's with a guard, and she says to the guard, like, let me know when this is done, essentially alluding to like, take care of this, make sure this servant or these servants that are gossiping right now are disposed of. And that was like kind of like it for those like scenes in this next scene is Daemon. He is in the gold cloak like lair or area, and he's reflecting at the table where he found all the guards there. He's looking at the slogan, the feast for traitors, and he turns around, and the remainder of the gold cloaks are approaching him. Half of them have their gold cloaks off, which is interesting, and he's trying to rally and trying to again tell them like, yeah, we'll get them, even if it takes 100 years, we're gonna get them, and don't worry. And the main, the older gold cloak is essentially saying like, look, man, like we're out, we're done. Like my kids are penniless. Like, this is no longer worth our time, our lives. Like, this is not like, we're not being paid. We're dropping like flies. This is crazy. And then Daemon gets so like upset, and he's basically calls them all like cravens, which is like a coward, and calls them like undeserving, and basically like insults them all and tells them that they're not men. And what are you going to do when these people come and like, take your children and rape your wives? And he kind of goes
also like, did you guys forget how this place used to be? Like, am I the only one that remembers? Like, it was like one of those like great scenes where like, like it's just falling on deaf ears. You know what I mean? Like, it was great stuff.
Well, they've done about 6 or 7 episodes with no money right now. So what the fuck, man? Again,
Yeah, so they're not happy, and they after his rousing speech, which wasn't rousing like it was in the last couple episodes.
Yeah, I know.
He goes to hand him his cloak. Damon obviously doesn't take it. He puts it on the table, and there's a few of them that follow suit. Like all of them follow suit after that.
Whoever's in that room.
And they walk away, which kind of leaves us to think like, oh man, there's like no more gold cloaks. Like they're done. Like they're done.
Police. Yeah, they're in trouble.
And then Damon turns around and he triumphantly yells, "King Kong ain't got shit on me." That's what he yelled in this.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
And then someone went and placed the sword in front of him. You got to do your own work. No, sorry. That's Training Day. Sorry, I mixed it up.
Wrong movie. Wrong. Yeah, sure. Oh, man.
My mistake. No, I like this theme. I like this scene. Damon's like my favorite character now, honestly. Like this season's like my favorite season of Damon, quite frankly, is this season. Last season he lost me. First season he was good, but this season's my Damon's knocking it out of the park in terms of like his scenes. Every scene I think I have enjoyed of his.
Yes. 100%. Yeah. Then we cut over to Alan, who's met up with his father, Corliss. And Corliss is stringing up a bunch of the Triarchy dead bodies and trees. And Alan basically says, like, are you not done? You know, have you finished your campaign and all the things? And Rhaenyra needs you, and we need more men. He's like, we need more men, Valerian men. Can we send more? And Corliss is just like, oh, and she still asks more of me, and yet she won't legitimize you. And Alan snaps back and was like, oh, but like, what about you? How long did it take you to legitimize me? And blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yes.
I knew you were going to like that one.
Oh, I loved it. I was like, yes.
When he delivered that line, I was like, yeah, Christine.
Yeah, me and Ashley were like this.
Yeah. Father of the year.
Yes. So thank you, Alan, for saying what we're all thinking and what we all feel. And I guess Corliss, again, was like, okay, fine. I'll give you a little bit of tidbit to to take back to her as like my fine. I'll think about it and whatever. So he says that Lord Tyland Lannister has survived the gullet. He was the one who was thrown overboard and has been known or has been seen heading towards Rook's Rest. Mm-hmm. So that's supposed to be his like little bit of info for Rhaenyra. Any other thoughts?
No, not really. I agree with you. It was a good scene for him to throw that back in his face a bit there. And you know, his insistence of like, oh, it's her that wants this. He's like, I'm the one who's asking for it. He's like, it's almost like he forgot.
Oh yeah, I forgot that point. Sorry.
Put him in this position. Like he's the one that made him take over for him. Yet he also doesn't want to take orders from him. Like he doesn't realize it or understand that maybe he cares about this cause that they're fighting for, and he's the one that's going there asking him to do this because he's the one that's working with Rhaenyra. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like ridiculous of him not to even like take notice of that fact. He's just tired of taking orders from anybody, really. He just kind of wants to be left to his own devices, it seems like, as Corliss guy. So
he just wants to string
because he can't handle it. Like we've talked about this. This is his MO. This is what he always did.
He likes lynching people. That's it. Just putting them on the friggin' shit. It's kind of a reverse role, eh, Mike? You know what I mean? That's so. Sorry.
Nah, that's terrible, Jay. Shut up,
Jay. Come on.
That doesn't even really have any relevance in this fictitious universe. So there you go.
No, it's okay.
Go ahead.
Next scene, we have Aegon, Tyland, and Larys. And they're together, and Tyland is digging a hole, and we see the dead body of that dude that Aegon murdered at the end of last episode. And Larys is criticizing how deep the hole is because Tyland's like, this is good enough. And he's criticizing him. He's like, oh, the dogs will find it in like 2 days, and we're not going to be gone by then. And whatever. And so Tyland is just like, bro, like the fucking shovel's free. Like you take it then. Not exactly like that, but you know, like I'm ad-libbing here.
Yeah.
And you know, we have to remember all three of these people are like they're lords. So like they're not used to doing this like
Labor stuff.
grunt work. And at first I was like, oh, okay, the hole must be deep enough. And then it's so funny because when they kicked the guy into it, it was like literally like super shallow. It's like wasn't dug at all. And this guy's like Thailand is so out of breath and he's
done.
Yeah,
he's
done
digging.
for.
He's done digging.
And then while they're finishing up with his body, Laris says he confirms that, I've managed to secure a ship to Bravos, but it's not leaving for a few days. So, you know, if we're gonna take it, we just have to like bide our time, stay like under the radar, don't make any, you know, just kind of bide our time and just be patient and stay under the radar and quiet and don't make any trouble. And Thailand is like, no, I disagree with this. I think it's terrible for you to leave Westeros. I think you need to stay here. Come to Casterly Rock, which is the seat of the Lannisters. You know, we'll make you comfortable. We'll rise up an army for you there. You need to stay in Westeros. And as he's pleading his case, Aegon just like looks up at him and was like, do you think I'm a horrible man? And Tylan just stumbles over his words, can't really communicate a sentence correctly. Tylan was also on Aegon's council, so he knows him on a deeply more personal level. And he can't formulate a proper sentence. And basically Aegon just shuts him up and was like, yeah, we'll sail to Bravos because he I guess he trusts Laris because he was the only one who was really obvious or really honest with him. So that was an interesting scene. It seemed, I don't know. What do you guys think about?
I think he was still being honest. I mean, even Thailand was still being honest in the sense of saying, like, you know, there is some people that are assholes and there's some people that aren't. Basically, is what he was saying. That, you know,
none of these people amongst them are good people. Really. No, right? So I get what he was saying in that sense, but I also just think he was biting his tongue because
he was tippy-toeing.
Well, it's because this is supposed to be the king still in his eyes, right? So like he can't just be saying shit like that he think won't come back to bite him in the ass later on, right? That being said, this is actually quietly becoming one of my favorite plot lines of the show. Actually, I quite enjoyed the Laris scene with him calling him out last episode, and I really enjoyed him still being bothered by it here in this scene. You know, I think it's gonna, I don't know if it's gonna have long-lasting effects on the character, but the fact that it's affecting him on some level right now, I think is very interesting, honestly.
Which probably helped him push more towards going with Laris too, right? That whole thing.
Well, that's why
he was honest, straight up honest with him.
Well, as soon as Tywin couldn't answer the question to his satisfaction, he was just like, "Oh, I guess Essos it is then." He's right. He's like, "I guess we got to go with what Laris wants," because he's like, "You didn't make a good argument for yourself for me to want to go to Casterly Rock." I felt like is what happened there. I really like this scene. I'm interested to see how it develops and where it takes these characters. Quite frankly, I didn't know that was going to happen, and it's taken an interesting turn.
Yeah.
So, well, yeah, and it's you know, nobody knows that he's still alive, right? Really, at the end of the day. So this is going to be a big shocker when he pops back up.
If he pops back up, we don't know. Yeah. I mean, there's still a lot of things that can happen to this guy, right?
Yeah, there's a whole other season.
Yeah,
I mean, if you think about it, he could try to take a turn for the better here, let's say, and as soon as he fucking tries to become a good person, he'll get killed. That's just like
that happens too.
Like a Christian Cole style.
No, but that's just Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna pull like a Jamie Lannister.
Exactly.
They're gonna make him like have like a redeeming like character arc of like, you know,
you read my mind.
You
read my
mind. And then just like kind of make him go right back to being a shithead. Like I don't know.
You read my mind.
Once he meets up with his mom.
But I ultimately think it's he's still gonna have a collision course with the brother. I think that's unavoidable. I think that's gonna happen before anything happens with Rhaenyra. I think these two are gonna go at each other, him and Aemon.
So at some point, right?
They have to. I think this is like
You can't leave that open.
Yeah, I just think all this pent up issues between the two of them. I do not see.
Yeah, Aegon is pissed.
Whether or not, I don't know when it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen at some point.
Aegon is pissed. I think Aemon is gonna expect it when it comes. That's the thing too, right? Like,
but they both feel that way. We saw them express that last episode. They both feel this way about each other, right? So
it's just a matter of who's gonna get who
two
first.
episodes ago, wherever it was. Yeah,
No, it was last episode.
Last episode. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So, anywho, we're moving on. We're now in the Vale. We are with Rhaena, who is sitting at the entrance of her cave eating blackberries. I was like, where did you get blackberries? Like in this economy? Okay.
Yeah, I know. They were juicy too. Do you see the size of those things?
They're huge. Yeah. It was like, anyways, and she hears, and then she sees Moon Dancer and Sea Smoke in the distance, and aka like her sister and Adam, who are obviously scouring the Vale looking for Vhagar and or yeah. So I do have one comment about this. So in the books, I know we're not talking about the books, we're just talking about the show, but just a little bit why they chose blackberries for the scene. In like just what I heard online is because blackberries grow next to plants called nettles. And in the books, the character who rides Sheep Stealer is called Nettles. And because they're not using that character in the show, because it's just too many, there's a ton of characters in the books that they just are not putting in the show because it's way too much and it's just really confusing. I think this was like their ode or their nod to the character Nettles, who is Sheep Stealer's rider. And so that's why you can't eat nettles, but you can eat blackberries, which grow next to nettles.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I would never pick up on that. I like that. Yeah, that's interesting.
I was weirded out by the blackberries, but that's why upon reading up on this and like doing
that's good.
I just figured because there's Greenland, there's green stuff, and there'd be berries growing somewhere. That's all I thought. Yeah, I didn't think of it would be.
No, that was it.
Crazy.
So
that's pretty crazy,
yeah. The scene after that, we're in Harrenhal with Aemond and Alice. And then we're in Aemon's room, and Alice is lovingly tending to his face wound or something. Apparently, he might have gotten hit in the face in the scuffle that they had at the end of last episode. Aemond is like, appreciative, but he's like, all right, time for me to go. Thanks so much, deuces. Like, he's got to go. And she's trying to convince him to stay. She's, trying to, lure him to like just sweet talking him. Bow chicka wow wow.
Yeah, I gotta ask something about this scene with her.
He's hell bent on trying to find Vhagar. He's like, she never would have left without me. Like, I need to find her. Like, I'm nothing without her, all the things. And Alice is like, oh, maybe she left for your protection. Maybe you need to think about like why she left. Like, right here, you're protected. You're safe. I'll take care of you. Like all the things she's trying to protect. It's just a weird, like, okay, what's happening? And just explaining all the dangers that he's facing if he leaves. Like, everyone's out to get him. There's a bounty on his head. He has no protection. You're just one man in the woods, no dragon. You need to sleep. You can sleep here. I'll take care of you. All the things. And she was like really seducing him, basically straddles him. Like, I don't know. Thoughts?
Yeah, my question is more about the other scene with her later on, because
right.
Felt like there was some stuff happening off screen which they were kind of trying to allude to, but I wasn't 100% sure if it was happening. Like, I'll just bring it up now. I feel like that, like you said, like this whole like kind of straddling him part. Like, you could see him you can see her cozying up to him a bit here, but she really goes for it in the next scene. I think she's like grabbing his balls in the next scene at one point, but they don't actually show it. But there's like like she's like grabbing his cock or his balls or something at some point later. Like,
when she's trying to kiss him. Yeah.
It's always been an effective method.
yeah. No, but it's almost like they're like, it's like like she does like a press up in the next scene, like sort of like where she's like she like kind of like this to him, like you could tell that there is some
These are my breasts.
yeah there was
Well,
something,
she's always chest forward.
there was something going on that we didn't see because it was focused on their faces is all I'm saying, like before they kissed, like there was some sort of like hand on something down there.
She's probably like a 300-year-old witch that like doesn't know how to flirt anymore, and so it's just like this is what she does. Like she's just like,
I mean, that's what I was waiting in the next scene. I'm waiting for her to just unzip, and all of a sudden there's some old
unzip.
lady.
They don't have zippers, Jay.
What, like the last one when the old lady when she just took off her in the Game of Thrones.
The necklace, she just unclipped.
Yeah, and then whatever. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah, she cuts right to the point. It's true. I
Yeah,
mean,
her foreplay game sucks.
I mean, I just felt like that is exactly what was going on, yet we weren't really treated to that on screen. they were making out, but I'm pretty sure there was other fondling going on in that scene. Yeah, that's why I wanted to know if anybody else caught that. But that's the next scene.
It was just, I was honestly, to be honest, we'll talk about it when we get there, but I was too distracted with like with Aemon's like pointy face. Like,
yeah,
Lewis,
he's pretty skeletal.
Lewis was like, why does he look like the moon? Like, the hat
wow.
with the moon. And I'm like, okay. I know we shouldn't comment on like people's like faces, but like, yeah, he looks like the moon.
That's how JT looks when you.
He looks like he could be related to Jay Leno.
That's how JT looks when you shave that beard.
I just want to have that pointy nose. That's it.
With the beard, he looks like Old Man Winter. Without it, he looks like the fucking moon caricature that you're talking about. All right.
Yeah, so that scene, okay, we get it. I know, like, I think it was Ashley that was like, oh, I think there's going to be some sexy time with these characters.
Oh,
I didn't believe it, but now it's like, okay, now obviously this is very obvious. We are back in the Vale for the next scene.
Yeah.
Just some screaming.
Nico's favorite. Lady Jane.
Favorite. Mine too, but Jay's favorite.
Yeah. Lady Jane is throwing someone out the moon door.
But they're not showing it. Like, come on, man. Like,
no, but you gotta love her reaction though. She's like, "Oh, this is always interesting," or something
like that. This never gets old, or whatever she says.
She says she makes some comments like, "Always intriguing to see someone fall down this thing." Like, this woman is kind of evil. Like, she's like, that's
she does it with that like cockiness. Yeah,
they're
like,
all a little off,
like,
like all that rule this.
Listen, if there's anything I've learned from Game of Thrones is that the Vale are snobs. They think they have the nicest fucking piece of property in land, and like they're just fucking snobs. These people.
They have a moon door. That's all that matters.
You know why they feel that way? Because it's like it's impossible to penetrate. Like you cannot take over the Vale. Like you cannot take over this castle except by air, like on dragons.
Yeah,
so that's why like she's so obsessed with having a dragon because she's completely.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's one of the most interesting pieces of property in this whole world. Like that's why me and Jay always love talking about it, and I just felt there was so little of it in the season.
And I love their prison from Game of Thrones. Like their prison setup is like the best.
The Tyrion's in that.
Yes,
right. Yeah,
up in the mountain. Yeah, and it's like you're just on the edge.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they're just like on another level. Like whoever constructed this fucking place, it's like I want to show about that guy. You know what I mean? I don't know who made the Vale. Like, but like that's what we need. Is like we need a series about that dude, whoever that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So she's throwing someone out the freaking moon door. Then the guards bring in Rhaena, and I guess like off screen. It seems that Rhaena had hopped on Sheepstealer and was flying, trying to meet up with her sister Balon, Moondancer, after seeing them in the distance. And anyways, Lady Jane is not pleased about this, and she slaps her in the face.
Pure bitch.
For coming out of hiding and trying to reconnect with Bela. And basically Jane reminds Rhaena of her promise to stay hidden. or face consequences. Like there's consequences for her, consequences for Jane Eyre. There's all these like, you know, Rhaenyra thinks that sheep stealers Ryder is dead right now, so like you've been safe, but if like you're seen flying over this city with like 7,000 eyes, like you're just asking for trouble, and especially if she thinks I'm harboring you here, it's big mess. So and Rhaena basically says like, well, my whole life like I've wanted a dragon, and so now I have a dragon, but I've lost everything else. And it's just like, well, that's the price you pay. Like that's just what it is.
Yeah, too bad.
Too bad,
yeah.
right?
That was
they seem to all have that they're having that issue in this episode. They like in that sense, that seems to be like the another theme in that episode.
Well, just like it seems like a theme. It's a theme like in general, like it's like you want something, but you have to sacrifice something else. You have to give something up, and it's like if you don't want to give it up, well.
And then at the end of the day, was it worth it? Right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the times it's not in these scenarios, right? Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's Ulf's whole point in his scene previous to this one is that, he was a lot happier when he didn't have all this stuff, and now he has this stuff, but now he has nothing to show for it, like in terms of like his friendships or his quality of life, right? So yeah, I don't know. It's
when you want it, you don't have it. When you have it, you don't want it. It's just double-edged sword sort of thing.
But I do have to say with this scene, and I like just have to, I don't know, I want to bring this up because again, I was thinking about this, and I'm like Lady Jane, like bringing back to your point, Nico, like about arrogance and stuff, she's got to be like the most ignorant fucking person on the face of the planet to like actually slap a Targaryen princess. Like, did she forget that Rhaena is a princess?
That's
like
what I'm saying. This one,
and she slaps her. Yeah. And she's disrespectful to her, and I'm like, do you forget? Like, why? I don't understand. Like, because she left your protection, you feel like you have this like power to just smack her around. Yeah. I don't know.
No, I know. That's why I'm saying I think the ball's on her. And like I think,
and she has a dragon.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? I don't know. It was just like, it's very strange.
I agree. That's why I said these people are fucked up. These Vale people. Wasn't Ned Stark's wife from the Vale? Or where was she from?
No, she's a Tully. Catelyn was a Tully, but it was her sister. Her sister married Jon Arryn, who was the Lord of the Vale.
I knew she had ties to the Vale in some way. Yeah, you're right. She was a Tully. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember she had ties there. They did in that sense. Yeah, and then I mean, they're already pissed with her. Like, they hate her already. Rhaenyra doesn't like her, right? Like, Daemon doesn't like her, right? Like, so I don't know. If he finds out that went down, I don't think he'd take too kindly to it.
Well, yeah, like, don't touch my freaking daughter. Like, anyways, it's... Yeah, I think they've forgotten who she is. I think everyone's forgotten who she is.
Yeah.
But
she's still also scared herself. I mean, she's still all panicky and nervous and.
But still, at the same time, it's like you wouldn't slap Joffrey, But you're, anyways. That's another. Anyway. Okay, so next scene, we're in the Dragon Pit, or just outside of the Dragon Pit. It seems like back in King's Landing. Alan is walking into the area. Bela is like taking a little snooze. He wakes her up, and they're basically just talking. Alan is asking Bela for help to talk to Corlys about the Valyrian men, but they basically go into this like communication, commiserating about their deadbeat dads, and how being the oldest firstborn is such a responsibility, and how miserable that is, and all the things. And there seems to be this like exactly like meow chicka wow wow that like comes out of nowhere.
No, this was like a shock. I'm not gonna lie. This was
I thought it wasn't his brother trying to get with this one?
Yes. That's what's so messed up about it. Was Adam Adam's been
And then
chasing
Adam's not
this
in this episode.
at all. Exactly. Thank you. Adam has been lusting after, like he's been pursuing this chick. She's clearly aware of it, but she wants no part of it. And then she goes and fucking kisses his brother. Gets it on with his brother. Holy crap.
And do we forget this is her uncle?
I'm aware, but she's listen, again.
Like this is another
I'm not taking that into consideration in Game of Thrones.
I don't even think about that, man. I just think of them as people. That's
situation.
it. Just people now.
Everything's on the table, okay?
Yeah, just people now, man. That's it.
There we go.
Oh.
Another vote.
Oh.
Hi, Brent.
Not upset that Kristen got to get killed this episode. There you have it. Yeah, this was shocking, quite frankly.
Well, I mean, I don't know. And then
I was not that it was Kristen Cole. I didn't care. That I knew was gonna happen.
I was definitely shocked about this one because even when Ashley and I were watching it, it was like she was like, "Oh, I think they're gonna get together," and I was like, "No, there's no way." Like she, like,
and then I was
Adam liked her. No, whatever. And then they kiss, and I'm like, "Well, never mind."
Yeah, I was like, "Wow."
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, exactly. Whoops. Well, stepbrother, at least, are they related? They're not related, so like that's at least okay.
Oh yeah, she is betrothed to Jacaerys, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but they weren't like related like by blood. Oh, I guess maybe a little bit, but like far enough down the line.
It really doesn't matter in this show anymore. Like that means nothing to me anymore. There's all kinds of this, fidelity going on.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
trying to keep the bloodlines pure.
Oh, Ashley has a sixth sense for the boom chicka wow on this show. Interesting.
This is nothing compared to the bone chicka wow these people can really do in this series.
Yes, no, I know about Daemon and Rhaenyra. I know, but how does that make Bela and Jacaerys? There's enough. Filtering of the blood in anyways, I don't know why we're talking. This is crazy. But yes, it's all incestuous. It's all nuts. I don't understand. I didn't see this coming.
Yeah.
One bit.
Yeah.
She's her father's daughter, yeah.
Yeah, you can't take the Targaryen out of the girl.
It's just like you can't take the girl off the Targaryen.
It's just foul, man. Foul play, like on her part. Like, how dare she? I mean, listen, she can go after whoever she wants. I just feel bad for my boy Adam.
I know he tried. I guess she likes the bald head.
Now, how about this? Maybe there's like a three-way play.
No, don't even. No.
Oh man.
Then she should have gotten with Adam, Ashley.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but you could tell she didn't respect him. Like
she wants the loyalty of Alan.
Yeah, what does she say? You're very studious, or whatever the fuck she said.
She's loyal. He says he's loyal and steadfast and all the things because he's the oldest brother. He's like the firstborn.
Yeah.
Like they're bonding over the fact that they have a lot of responsibilities as firstborn.
I'm the firstborn. Look at me.
I love how hard he tried, though. He's like, you should get to bed.
Yeah.
Then he just like fucking lunges at her.
He's like, you should do what you want. Yeah, you should do what you want.
I think everyone in Westeros needs to take a flirting 101 class because nobody knows how to do it.
He also didn't respect her. I feel like she got really pissed at him when he spoke for her when he was like, she's tired. Like, don't send her back out. And she was like, excuse me, like who's tired? Like, I'm good to go, right? Yeah. I think he burned his chances with that during the council.
I remember that.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting?
Making her look like she was weak in that sense.
Yes.
In season 2, when Corlys asks or tells her, like, I want you to be my heir, and she's like, no, I'm of fire and blood, not salt and sea. It's like, well, now you've fallen for the salt and sea. Like, she didn't have to. Anyways, I don't know. I'm just annoyed by this exactly. Like,
no, I think it's foul too, to be honest with you. I just didn't like it. I didn't see it like seeing it happen either, to be fair. I was just because I thought Adam was we had called that out. We're like, oh, it looks like Adam's has a crush on her, and then all of a sudden here comes Alan just strolls in. Yeah, exactly. See,
I don't.
That's it. Everybody's got ties to somebody.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, moving on. We are in Tumbleton. Yay! Gwaine has arrived in Tumbleton, and Ormond is there questioning why Gwaine has deserted Kristen Cole. Gwaine explains he's really handsome though. Like, we can't even deny this. Gwaine explains that Kristen had a death wish, and the war is lost. There's no point. Like, this is craziness. And Ormond clarifies that he plans to press on despite dragons watching their every move, and this, like, them seeming the Targaryens having a seemingly larger army, and he has a bigger plan, and he's very confident. Ormond is confident that Rhaenyra won't burn her subjects because she is a woman, squeamish.
I love that he's like squeamish.
Yeah, he kept it light, but to the point. He's like,
He is.
He said, like, he whispered like there was a woman in the room.
Yo, by the way, he's awesome. I like this villain a lot now.
No,
I wasn't so sure about this guy when he showed up, but now, like 3 episodes in, or however long we've had with him this season, like the last few episodes,
great.
He's great.
Yeah.
Really good villain. Really good villain. I like this guy a lot. Yeah.
Ormond is banking on her going to them, where he says and thinks he has the advantage. He's also obviously working on creating chaos from within the walls of King's Landing to show how unfit she is to rule to the other High Lords, like in Westeros. He's banking on support from the major houses. And then Gwaine questions, like, oh, like, how many have shown up? Like, like, you think that they're coming to support you, but like, who's shown up? And he's like, oh, and then Gwaine gives him this spiel about the patient hunter gets the kill or something like that. So Ooh, that's a good theory. Okay.
That is a good theory.
So Gwaine, after this conversation, he basically was like, I'm done. It's been too long since he's had a feather bed and a bath and all the things. He's weary from the travel. He's gonna depart and whatever. Gwaine, Ormond is like, Daron, please take him to his quarters and make sure he bathes. And then he makes this comment about, or he kind of alludes a couple times in this conversation to Gwaine's sexuality, about, like, I'm sure you took solace with your brothers in arms, and then tells Daron to, like, make sure his back's to the wall.
Yeah. I picked up on that. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's what he's referring to. Yeah, okay.
So I don't know. Anyways, and then so then they leave the room, and as they leave the room, like, Gwaine and Daron leave the room, Daron, to me, like, he actually opens up and he expresses his true feelings, and basically says to Gwaine, you can tell the relationship between Daron and Gwaine is so much closer, and Daron has a totally different perspective and feeling about Ormond. He doesn't like him. He's like, I don't like who I am when I'm with him. He's a monster. Like, you left me. Why did you leave me with him? He won't protect me. Like, all the things. Brent, Gwaine saying he's the heir to Hightower. He said he's second in line.
Yes.
So does he mean, is he referencing? No, not to his sister.
Otto?
So is he referencing Otto, or is he referencing?
Oh, Ormond? Yeah. Well, they think he's still alive. They think he's still alive.
Yeah.
They think he's still alive. Yeah. So that's who he means, second in line. Yeah, not to his sister. maybe that would have been the case if she was still queen. But yeah, no, in terms of the High Tower, yeah, it's Matt. Yeah, so is he older than her or no?
I'm sure Gwen. I think Gwen is older than Allison.
Okay, well, it wouldn't matter, I guess.
Shorter.
They would probably go with the man over the woman, probably, anyways.
Yeah, yeah. No, this like I think Viserys just made a decision like because he didn't have any male heirs. But like I think if you have a male heir, they take precedence.
Yeah. So yeah, they think Otto's because they mention Otto in the next scene when they're sitting down together. Ormond mentions Otto, and he's going to start talking shit about Otto. And then yeah, that's right. They think he's alive. So yeah, that's why they say it. Yeah. None of them have been in Old Town.
Yeah.
Gwen is going back there supposedly after this episode that he mentioned, but I don't know if, given everything that happened in this episode, if he's going to be leaving as of yet. I don't know. We'll see. But Daron certainly doesn't want him to, right?
No. And you can tell he's like so innocent. Like he's such an innocent. He's like, I'm never going to be king. He in the scene, he just tells Gwen like, I'm never going to be king. Like despite Ormond's like, you know, what he wants, he just wants it for himself, but he'll never have it himself. So he's putting me there in place, but I'll never be there. It's crazy for him to assume this. You know, and then Gwen basically just says, dude, I don't know what to tell you. Like, just stick it out. You'll be fine. He'll protect you. And then poor Daron's like, have you seen my mother? Like, how is my mom? Like, it's really sweet.
I know. I felt really bad for him in this episode just because, like, I don't know if he's going to survive this ordeal, quite frankly, the way things are panning out. And I really did like to see that side of him expressing that to Gwen and having seen that Gwen I actually even turned a corner on Gwen. I thought he wasn't that much of a, like, I thought he was not a great, you know, person either all too much, but like, yeah, he's a very sensible person. Like even with everything going on amongst his family in this war, he's I don't know, like some would say cowardly with what he did, but he's the only person that survived that ordeal from walking away, knowing that it's a death wish that he seeked out at the end of the day. So I can't hate on him for that. Quite frankly, I would probably have done the same if I was him after learning that about Kristen Cole. Like that's all I'm saying. Like I get it. Like he called him cowardly or whatever, but and even saying, you know what, I'm gonna go back to Old Town. I don't see this going in our favor. I'm gonna go pick up the pieces and do what I can over there. I just think he is sensible amongst everything going on. Like he's ready. You know, he's ready to accept we may not win this war, right? Like Ormond is you know, very power driven, obviously.
Yeah.
This whole thing, right? So much is so to prop Daron up. That's why he says he's not gonna let anything happen to you. Like he's convinced of it, or at least tells him as much, right? But you could tell he very, very much doesn't like Ormond. Like clearly.
Oh no.
He doesn't like Ormond, but like I said, I don't think Ormond, like you said, I don't think Ormond will do anything physically to him because he's using him as his own leverage.
No, not Daron. I'm saying Gwen. Gwen hates Ormond.
Oh yeah,
we know that from like you know the stories. Like they didn't get along as children,
right?
So
but to see them interact this episode with one another, like I really liked this scene as well. A lot of gems of scenes here in this episode. Absolutely,
great acting.
Next scene, we're back in King's Landing. Helena is embroidering, which she's often seen doing in this show, but this is obviously very, you know, anyways, she's embroidering. Allison is worried that she hasn't said or eaten anything in days. Helena is ignoring her, and so Allison like rips the tapestry away from her. And then Helena like questions Allison about the plan of escaping with Jaehaera. Like, did you lie to me? And basically, Allison says, you know, it's too dangerous for Jaehaera for a child. You know, I had to do what I had to do, and I don't know. Helena obviously is upset about this because again, Allison lied to her.
Yeah.
And then you could see that she starts picking at her finger, poking her finger with the needle, and it looks like she's done that a couple times already. Kind of similar to what Allison would do with like picking her thumb, like she would pick her nails and kind of like a nervous tick. Helena walks away from Alicent in this moment. She's obviously clearly pissed off that she's double guarded and can't see her daughter. But then Alicent looks at what she's working on, what Helena was working on in the tapestry, and it seems to be an image of Aemond in Harrenhal with Alice Rivers. And he's surrounded in a pool of blood, or I don't know. Some people were saying it looks like it's like in a uterus, or like he's like encased in something. Like it looks like
Yeah, he's
it's
got his
very
mummy
strange.
issues. He's over there. Yeah, it's just
Yeah, it's very strange, but it's very much Aemond, and yeah. So that's that scene. We got the promise of death from Alice and 1,000, but they don't see each other alive after this episode. Oh, Alicent and Helena we're talking about. Oh, yeah, probably. Oh, yes. It's at the end of this episode, yeah. She does promise that they'll go off into the sun or something together, which is crazy. So that scene is that scene. Next one is Aemond. We're back in Harrenhal. We're back in Harrenhal. Aemond has managed to find himself a horse. He's in the stables. He's getting the horse ready, and the poor innocent stable boy just happens to walk in, sees Aemond, calls him One Eye, and tries to run away, but Alice like shows up behind this poor stable boy and like stabs him, kills him. And then Aemond, is like okay. So anyways, Alice again is trying to convince him to stay. Basically says like, I have something to show you. There's like a bigger thing at play here if you're willing to learn and willing to participate.
Yeah.
So he basically like he's intrigued by this, and obviously feels like, okay, she's a little bit more loyal to me than originally thought. She's like maybe cares about me a little bit too much or a little more. So the next scene we see her, she's dragging a big box or a chest out from some like bramblewood, and she's like in a hiding spot somewhere, and she pulls and she uncovers 5 dragon eggs.
Uh-oh.
And it's like, whoa, where the hell did she get these from? And she basically explains like the Targaryen lore about, she says to Aemon, like, have you forgotten your histories? And she basically explains that these eggs were last laid by Dreamfire, which is the dragon that Helena rides now. But it belonged to Princess Rhaena Targaryen from years before, who had gone to Harrenhal after Rhaena's daughter died. And the last clutch of eggs that Dreamfire laid in Harrenhal in that time were there. And anyways, Alice kind of picks one up and hands it to Aemon, or Aemon picks it up, and he's kind of like, intrigued by the power that comes with these dragon eggs. And then she seduces him further with like legacy, and if he sticks with her, they'll have children, and he'll be great, and he'll be this dragon lord, and
some off-screen fondling. I'm sure of it. There's definitely
talking about this
off-screen fondling is happening in this scene where she's when she gets real close to him. I think she's grabbing his nuts or something. Yeah, absolutely. She's
grabbing his dragon eggs.
What do you think of this theory? That they don't, maybe he thinks it's an illusion, or
it did cross my mind. Yeah. It did cross my mind. I'm not gonna lie, because like Harrenhal is one big like fucking like shroom, like hallucination.
We already know this, right?
So it's kind of like, I don't know, like let's take this with a grain of salt, but it is interesting.
Yeah, it's very possible. That never like escaped me. I'm like, is that the case? Like, what's going on here? But I thought that we do know for a fact that there should be other eggs in play. Whether or not those are them, I don't know. But I mean, there should be. Aren't we?
Where? They're the only eggs that are in play are the ones that Rhaenyra sent off to Essos with her children, and then the ones that were sent off like prior to that Daenerys ends up having.
Right, but that doesn't explain whether or not like she would have had eggs there for any reason, right?
No, like they
Right.
never mention it, but I mean they
But
don't.
she makes
I
up
don't
this
know.
whole history lesson there.
No,
But
the history is true. That's not a made up
Right.
story. But
Okay.
like the eggs, I don't know are or not.
okay, that's what I wanted to clarify whether or not all that was made up as well, because I thought
The story
there
is
was always,
true.
there was always talk that there was other eggs, because as we know, there's eggs that make their way onto Game of Thrones years from now as
Yeah.
well, right? So I
But, I mean,
always
still
thought,
sleeping eggs, really. At the end of the
well,
day,
I
they were
always
still
thought there was the
sleeping eggs.
possibility of more eggs being in play somewhere, though, right? They're all okay. That's very sharp eye, if that's what you've caught that. Yeah. I mean, listen, she's a witch. We can't trust anything she's doing there. And we know that she just wants him that she's been tricking him to stay there already. And with this whole, we don't even know what happened to
and
Vhagar
there's
yet. We still don't know what happened to Vhagar, right?
we don't know what happened to Vhagar, but the other thing is there was another point I meant to mention when I was talking about this. Her hand has some blood on it all of a sudden.
I saw that. Yeah, that
And after she touches the egg
yes.
and moves it away, Aemon mentions, he feels that the egg is warm all of a sudden.
Yes.
So it kind of makes the illusion back to like Game of Thrones time with the blood magic, and like maybe she's looking for like the royal blood, like the Targaryen, something to like. I don't know.
I think it would be such a crazy twist if she literally just had like 5 eggs chilling there. But yeah, I think that's why you can play into it so easily of like, oh, holy shit, do you believe that all these eggs are here, right? Like, yeah.
Actually, now talking this out loud, I'm like, if those eggs were real, if they are real, why didn't she show them to Daemon?
She tried to get Daemon though there. Like she tried to like get.
He was there for like a year.
No, but that's no, I know. But Daemon is also, I think, was fighting back at every opportunity he got to get out of there. Though, like I know he was there for a while, but he wasn't just letting her mess with his head the way that Daemon's easier to take advantage of. Sorry, Aemon is absolutely more easy to take advantage at this point in time, right? I think Daemon knew what was going on to some degree. Like,
yeah, he knew he was tripping out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
no, you're right though.
I think Daemon has issues too, and that she's playing into that mommy issue.
Mother,
too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then throwing the eggs in there, that kind of just makes it even more like, oh
yeah. Okay. So the next scene, we're in the throne room. Rhaenyra is sitting in the throne. She's listening to the small folk complaints. Again, this tallow is expensive. It's, nowhere to be found now. They can't light their lanterns or sconces. Like, there was a girl that was kidnapped from the mother house or the sept. Rhaenyra very much so. Anyways, the tallow thing, Rhaenyra is like, blame the master of coin. He's responsible for all the money. The girl was kidnapped from the sept, and Rhaenyra is like, I'm so sorry. I'll light a candle in her honor. Like, she's so dismissive and
yeah, I know, eh?
Trying to pass it, just get through the like situation, because she's like, I got other things I got to worry about here. Another person's like, what happened to the gold cloak? Like, the gold cloaks are no longer around for protection. Who's going to protect us? She blames the high towers. This is their fault. She just keeps deflecting. Tensions are mounting. The people are getting like more and more pissed off. And then Rhaenyra cuts herself on the throne. And the scene kind of goes a little fuzzy. The sound gets a little muffled. The like high pitched ringing, kind of what was happening to her a couple episodes ago when she was like kind of losing control, or kind of like a signal that her the Targaryen madness or her sanity is slipping, or something. Also, I don't think it's like a good omen when whoever sits the Iron Throne is being cut by the chair. Her father kept getting cut by the chair. He had this disease. yeah, so it's like kind of like there's this idea that the throne might be rejecting her. She's kind of freaking out. And then she kind of focuses and she sees the statue of her father, Viserys, and then decides she's had enough. She gets up and she walks right through the crowd and out the door, and that's that.
They fucking cleared that crowd open quick. Just as soon as she got up, they moved out of the way. Oh,
yep. Gotta go.
Way to piss people off.
Yeah. So Damon is now walking the streets in disguise. Terrible fucking disguise. As a gold cloak.
It's so funny though.
The two. I love that scene, Nico. Wrong picture. The two-eyed guy, the heterochromia guy, he's following Damon in an attempt to assassinate him, not knowing it's Damon, but anyways, he turns a corner and then Damon like sneak attacks him, holds him at, knife point, confronts him about who is responsible for the death of the gold cloaks, who's like paying them, like what's happening. And the guy basically explains that, it's everybody. It's like a small folk rebellion. They're everywhere. They'll like, the more you retaliate or the more you like retaliate against us, the more you're
stronger
working
they become.
Yourself, the stronger they become. Exactly, Jay. Thank you.
And they're communicating too through cities. Like
yes,
areas too.
So it's kind of just like we're everywhere. You're never going to catch us. Like it's never going to be better. Like you're done for.
Don't piss the small folk off, man.
Yeah, and then Damon like kills him, like stabs him in the ear / brain.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it in the beginning, Brent. Like, we don't know like why this episode was called The Faceless Men. Maybe we assume we talked about maybe this guy being that person, or this like the thing that he represents is this.
Yeah.
Like the assassins are.
Yeah, we talked about this at the very start of this episode. If you weren't with us, we opened up with that. Actually, it could have multiple meanings. Basically, we all kind of discussed it. We came to the conclusion. I was under the belief maybe it was to represent the people that like Kristen Cole that get killed on the battlefield that aren't really known as anybody, just another casualty. But I think it's more. I'm now more leaning towards what we were saying, that it's representative of the small folk, like Jay was just saying.
And assassins. I think it's the assassins, like, period.
I don't even know if it's just assassins. I think it's more representative of like he doesn't know who any of these people are. Like they're faceless in his mind. Like about like the threat is ever encompassing, and it can be any of them. Kind of. I think that's what it means of faceless men. Maybe this is the start of, like you mentioned a couple episodes ago, the start of this movement of the faceless men. Because if you recall, that was the whole thing that he started out with in Game of Thrones 2 was basically getting back at the rich and powerful, basically, right? Like he always looked out for the small folk in those situations, and that is why he assisted Arya in Game of Thrones, right? Like it seemed like he was more than happy to take out anybody she wished for her helping him, who she thought he was just like a stray guy that was in that. Remember, he was like locked up or whatever, and she like freed him. So like I think this could be the start of that, and the start of these people, like the rise of them. I don't know. It could have multiple meanings. That's what's interesting about the name of this episode. I don't know. We really don't know where it's going to lead. So yeah.
But so Damon, he kills this guy and then he walks off, and as he's walking away, he kind of body checks like some peasant person, and it turns out that this peasant person is Ulf, and he goes to turn around and wants to confront the guard and realizes it's Damon and apologizes. "My prince, I'm so sorry." Damon questions him, like, "What are you doing outside the walls of the keep? I didn't think you were allowed to leave." And he's like, "Oh, I'm just heading to the tavern, gonna see my boys. You know what it's like. Us men need our simple pleasures. You get it." trying to
Man,
relate to him
fuck.
on like a chill level, just like it's all good, don't worry, it's fine. But Damon does not appreciate that comment, doesn't appreciate whatever, and he smacks him down to the ground, steps on him, causes a little bit of a scene. Doesn't look good for Damon and or the Crown. Doesn't look good for the relationship with Ulf. Basically says like, if you're seen out here again, like I'll end you. And then walks away. Ulf gets up, a little embarrassed, a little whatever, and that's the end of the scene.
Well,
But
I mean, if that had happened, like let's say a couple years ago, like a couple years earlier in that sense, and he bumped into him, and he said that, well, I got to, what it's like to have a drink here and there. You think Damon would have said, all right, let's go for a drink. I know they're not supposed to be outside the walls, really, in that sense, but
no, I think though, like this is where the turn is gonna happen, where Ulf is gonna basically
the rise of the small folk.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the thing: the optics of this, he is one of them. He is one of those people, right? So the fact that he is then like puts his like he stomps him on him, like it has his leg on him, like the way he does in front of all the people, and in the time where they really are not looked upon very well at this moment. That just, I think, made it worse, like that much more. And I think Ulf is going to turn on him because directly of this moment, because I think people are now going to come to Ulf and be like, join our cause. Like, look at this fucking guy, how he treats you. Right. I don't know. I think this was a bad look. This was a very bad look for everybody involved, honestly. And I think about it as, this was not good. So,
yeah,
I think he's gonna, and they Alpha is just gonna what do you call it? Realize, hey, you know what? I do have a dragon. Fuck this. I'll protect my people, kind of thing. Because they kind of got really got embarrassed in front of those are probably old. Maybe some people knew him, right, on that street. You feel embarrassed too, right? You never know where that's gonna lead.
Yeah, we'll see. We're back to Hugh Hammer, just outside of Old Town. He walks up to a cart with just some goods and wares, and he steals the cart. He like knocks the delivery guy down, takes his clothes. Obviously he has a plan to get into Tumbleton. So you see that he gets to the gates of Tumbleton, and it's surrounded by Hightower like men. They give him a stone. I don't know. I didn't look into this, but they give him a stone, and he's also entering. If you noted, like I noticed, he's entering disguised as a merchant with a cart, but also behind the Baratheon army, or there's like a few, like a Baratheon like group of men. Which leads into our next scene. But anyways, he's entering in with them. They give him a stone, and then there's like a ledger, kind of note-taking kind of a thing. I don't know if anybody knows what this stone is about, but
just checking his passport.
Yeah, essentially. But yeah, anyways, so that's that scene. But we're still in Tumbleton for the next scene. Ormond and Daron and Gwaine are having dinner. Sir John Roxton, I think his name is. Ormond's hand. He interrupts the dinner, saying that there's a Baratheon group of men there to meet them. Ormond is pleased with this, saying that if the Baratheons are there, the Highgarden will sure to follow. He basically thinks this is like the beginning of the houses like coming to the Hightowers and swearing fealty to Daron the Daring. The Baratheon men enter, and they are completely covered in mud, poo, whatever. Ormond like is there. He looks like he's gagging. He can't stand the smell.
We don't catch it. I don't catch it right away with him.
That polite.
Yeah.
He's like, trying to be polite. He's trying to be whatever, but he's slowly backing away from them. Basically, and they're like, oh, we're here to swear fealty. Like, would we be able to see King Daron so we can like bend the knee to him directly? And Ormond, like a fool, says, oh, here he is. He's right here. And Gwaine kind of picks up on this like interesting tidbit. He's kind of a little weary. He's moving around the table a little bit. And as Ormond is like basically serving Daron up on a platter,
Yeah.
like this, the Baratheon dudes kind of are looking at each other like, oh, okay, that was easy enough. Like kind of like suspiciously. There's a lot of tension in the scene. There's a lot of like whatnot. And Gwaine just like attacks.
Yeah.
You know, he just attacks. He takes a knife off the table and slices this guy's throat.
It's an
and then a scuffle ensues. And then Ormond, still like an idiot, was like, "Oh, stop him! Like, stop!" Like, you know, thinking that Gwaine is like going off. And then in the middle of this scuffle, Gwaine is like, "They're assassins. They're here to kill you and to kill Daron. Like, you idiot," kind of thing. And then just as Gwaine is finishing up, killing all these people with John Roxton and whatever, he's like, "Oh, like Aerion Baratheon is chestnut of hair," like basically like knows that this is not who he says he is, because he knows the history. Gwaine knows the histories and knows that this Baratheon is like chestnut of hair. He's not black of hair like the rest of the Baratheons are. Anyways,
and then Ormond pukes.
Yeah, and then Ormond like, you know, can't handle it, so he like
came on,
all over the place. Yeah.
That was fucking hilarious. Great scene, and honestly, smart move. If it wasn't for Gwaine,
it would have been dead. All of them.
Rhaenyra would have pulled this off. Yeah. That's right. There you go. Oh, how the tables have turned. No, that was just, yeah, he really came in clutch in this scene, Gwaine. I gotta give it up to him, because if it wasn't for him, I think Rhaenyra would have got the drop on them with this trick. It was actually a smart trick.
100%.
It actually was a pretty clever trick.
He used Alice. She used Allison's thought of.
We knew that was gonna happen at some point.
Shit smell,
we just didn't know how it was gonna happen, right? Yeah. So like, I think it was really clever of her to bring in a party that we haven't actually seen represented in this war so far, like she did here. But unfortunately, they were just too slow to the punch, unfortunately. So,
yeah. And it so now the whole give me your belt thing makes sense, because Rhaenyra needed the clothes off the Baratheon men to cover dress these assassins for this task. I think Rhaenyra, like, she made a few good moves this episode, so she's coming into her own. She's figuring it out. But anyways, you know, trial and error. We got to figure things out.
Becoming more ruthless, it seems like. So.
Yeah. We're back to Hugh, and he finds his wife Kat, who is shocked to see him. She thought he was dead. He says, I went back. I've been looking for you. I've been, you know, like, but Kat, I did it. Like, I claimed a dragon, Vermithor, the Bronze Fury. He's all proud of himself and whatever. And she seems to be taken aback. And obviously she's been through some shit. So she's not too pleased, because he had left their family initially to go do this. Despite her saying, I just want to leave. I just want to get out of King's Landing. All of the things. So they're kind of having a little bit of a disagreement. Like they're back together finally, but they're, you know, anyways, they're having a little bit of a disagreement, and Hugh is getting a little frustrated with her. Come with me, like, you know, Rhaenyra is gonna promised us a house. I have coin now. Like, we're set up. We'll be good. Like, you got to come with me. And Kat's reluctant to leave. She's like, I can't leave my brother. I've been through so much. You did this for yourself.
Dead. Her brother's dead.
Yeah, well, no, I can't leave. That's what she can't leave her family. Sorry.
Yeah,
you know, I've been through too much. My brother's now dead.
Yeah.
You're only doing this for yourself. I barely recognize you. Like, all the things. They kind of get into it a little bit. They're drawing a little bit of attention to each other, but then they kind of slow it down, stop, and then, you know, she kind of walks away with her niece, and that's basically that. So.
I don't know. My thoughts on this are going to sound insensitive, quite frankly. So I'll just keep my comments to myself on this one. I don't know. I think it's she's been through a lot, but this was a pretty fast, like, cut and dry, like, you're a monster now, get away from me, let me make a huge fucking scene in the middle of the street that I don't think it was necessary in that moment, quite frankly. Like, I understand she may be pissed off, I understand the stuff that she's been through, absolutely, but I don't know. But that's just, like I said, me being insensitive to her, her situation, I guess. I don't know.
I think she's been through a lot. So she's,
I get it.
and she's mad at him for leaving because she didn't want him to go to begin with. So it's a little bit of a tricky situation, but yeah.
I get it. I get how she's like, yeah, you thought this was important. Meanwhile, I'm over here getting fondled and all this other shit, and my brother's dead. And I get it. She's been through a lot, right? Or maybe even more than fondled.
Well, yeah, she could know because she does allude to like being raped on the road,
Right.
So it's just like, what? Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We don't know. Like there was that scene that happened where she almost did, and then they killed that guy or whatever. He got taken away.
Yeah.
And then he killed her brother. So I don't know what to think here, right? But even so, like, I get it. She's going to react the way she did, but again, like, it was not helping their situation. And Ulf was really Hugh was just there, like, under the guise of like a completely different, like that was bad, like, in that moment for both of them, like what ended up happening there. It was the most baitest thing they could have do. Yeah, well, yeah, I get it. I mean, listen, yeah, that's a good point. Just like we were saying earlier, they're the ongoing theme. Theme. Look at it, like he lost everything he had as well.
Yeah.
Is he gonna chase it though? That's the thing.
Maybe this religion isn't so wrong about the dragons being evil. It seems like everybody that wields them basically, like, has lost everything, right? Like, everything other than the dragon. You have to make sacrifices to have. No man should have that much power and then also everything else, right?
Yeah, there's got to be a cap.
That's why it should be left to women.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. They're the ones that can't control the dragons, damn it, no.
Do you not remember Rhaenys flying Maelys?
Yeah.
Let's see. Where are we here? Okay, we're back to Ormond and Gwaine. They are the maids are cleaning up the blood in the dining hall, and Ormond is by the window, probably looking to get some fresh air, but he's overlooking Daron, who's in the courtyard, like practicing like sword fighting with his, like, whatever. And Gwaine goes up to him and they basically exchange words, and Ormond apologizes for doubting Gwaine's abilities and thanks him for, his service, like, or that situation, like saving them in that situation. And then Gwaine essentially, like, Ormond like grants Gwaine permission to leave and go back to Old Town. And then Gwaine kind of questions like what Ormond's like play is with putting Daron on the throne. Like, what is his purpose? Like, what is the plan? Like, what's the overall plan? Like, what is it? And then the scene kind of like ends there. So obviously that's going to be a bigger conversation, or we'll figure out what his true intentions of that are as time goes on. Yeah, maybe, but he can't, because Ormond is like a little bit of a psychopath, and he's obviously got a play. Yeah, but Gwaine is not. Gwaine's not going to leave. I don't think Gwaine's leaving. I don't think he's leaving.
Gonna hang out.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But that's another storyline. I'm interested to see what goes on.
I like this character, Ormond. I just want to see his character keep going. I want to see what kind of death he gets.
Yeah.
If
we're, yeah. We're back at King's Landing with Rhaenyra and Alicent again. Rhaenyra has obviously she's irritated with Alicent at this point. She seems like frustrated, like, what do you have for me? Like, what are we here for? Then Alicent basically reveals that she knows where Aemond is. She says that Aemond is in Harrenhal. Rhaenyra is frustrated, and she's like, I've had scouts all over the place. They haven't seen Vhagar. And Helena's like, I didn't say I knew where Vhagar was. I said I know where Aemond is. He's hiding out in Harrenhal. And, Rhaenyra's like, how do you know this? Alicent says, oh, Helena, she sometimes has visions. She's a dream. And then it's revealed to Rhaenyra that Alicent is a dreamer. Like Daenerys, who saw the doom of Valyria.
Mm-hmm.
And this is obviously very intriguing for Rhaenyra because, she seems to like
in that stuff. Yeah.
she obviously believes in it. This is her history, but she didn't know this about Helena. So it's interesting to her. And she in the moment was like, okay, if Aemond is in Harrenhal, like sending a whole fleet of men like would scare him off and make him go like more into hiding. So but like he won't if I send one sword. And Alicent is like, absolutely not. I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not playing this game. And Rhaenyra is like, well, you don't have a choice. Like, you're going essentially, and I'll take care of Helena. Like, don't worry about it. Like, you just go, and you don't have a choice. Again, great. I like where Rhaenyra is heading. I think she's thinking like now she's strategizing better. She seems to be coming into her own. Again, another like A+ move to send Alicent to go weed out her son.
Yeah. Yep.
That should be interesting.
Yeah.
We don't know where she's going to go. Well, they're going to send somebody with her, obviously.
Yeah. So Alicent and Helena are together in the next scene. Alicent is feeding her stew. And I thought it was very strange in the scene. Like, Helena asks Alicent, was it Alicent's plan to marry Helena to her brother?
This was sad.
Weird.
Yeah, I also was like really sad in the scene.
Yeah.
I felt bad.
Yeah, she confirms that no, it wasn't her choice. It was Otto's, which is interesting because we just assume it was like, oh, this is what Targaryens do, but like Otto wasn't a Targaryen,
right?
No.
So it's interesting. And then Helena's like, or Alicent's like, at first, she didn't begrudge it because at least it kept Helena safe and in
the bloodline.
Alicent's like, no, but it's kept Helena safe and in Alicent's like presence so that she knew, so she wasn't like away into some random like lord's house without any protection or any whatever. So that's why she agreed to it at first, but now she questions if that was like a right choice and all the things. But like, I just think it's a weird question for Helena to ask to begin with. Like, why are you asking her now? I don't know. It's very strange.
Wasn't it in this scene too coming up that she asks where the kid is? The other one?
Where Jaehaera is? No, it was the other scene about like, oh, you told Mysaria like to go up ahead and meet us with Jaehaera, but that was a lie.
Yeah. But you didn't see him in this. You didn't see them in this episode.
No, you don't see the little girl in this scene.
The little girl, sorry.
No. So I don't know. And then anyways, Helena ends up eating some stew from Alicent because I guess she like trusts her or feels like she can open up to her again or something. I don't know.
Or she's hungry.
Yeah, there's a quick there's two quick scenes.
Yeah. That's what I felt sorry for her a lot too. I was just like, it was odd, but I felt bad.
I just don't understand what the purpose is. Like, what's the purpose of this? Like,
I don't know. I just thought it was make you feel even worse for her, honestly. Like, which, I'm kind of worried about her future currently as well here on this show because she's just been so unhappy and being used as a pawn, and I don't know. It's just it is sad.
It's sad, but like that's what happens to like women in Westeros. Like that's just what they did. They were pawned off, and like Rhaenyra did want Helena's hand in marriage with Jacaerys, but that was called off because Alicent said no. She said she would think about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, she could have like had a half decent husband, like but I don't know. Maybe things would have turned out differently for Helena. Probably they definitely would have, but Yeah, Helena's just so innocent. I do like her as a character as well. But I just thought it was a very strange scene. I don't know. I don't understand.
They did take a moment to explain that bug was poisonous with her daughter. You're right. Yeah.
Oh, I never even thought about that.
It's a good theory. It's a good theory. Or that is what she's going to be planning. Maybe she hasn't done it yet, but maybe that's her way out, because she hasn't been let back out into that area yet. And even though she's been wanting to,
Well, she has the caterpillar in the cage with her.
Yeah, that's right. They brought it in. Right. Because, but isn't that's the scene where she has her daughter and she's showing her by the bush or whatever, right?
Yeah, but then she has it in a cage
right.
because she's looking at it like again, like closer up. Like
I thought they were just using that to illustrate like change, like metamorphosis or something. You know what I mean? Like
yes.
I thought it was representative of something like that, maybe. But
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I
can really keep you guessing in this.
Yeah, it was just sad. Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe you're correct. Yeah.
Maybe.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I like
theories.
this, like these theories coming out of the comment section.
You guys are cooking.
Yeah. We just cut to 2 quick scenes. One scene is Rhaenyra. She's finally in Joffrey's like bedroom. She sits on his bed, kind of looks at him, but then looks away. Again, deep thought, deep solace, but at least she's preggers too. Oh yes, Helena, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Rhaenyra is sitting on Joffrey's bed. She's finally made it there. She's finally like, acknowledging her third son. That was a quick scene. And then the next quick scene was Alicent kind of riding off into the night with her next level couture for
sick
gown and cap.
Yeah.
I do actually want to mention, and I looked this up too. If you've noticed in this episode and the last episode, her dresses are slowly turning blue.
Yes.
Versus green. And again, my husband was like,
well, that's
why is she wearing blue?
Well,
like,
that's why I said, blue? Is it like a turquoise? Last episode I had said, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The high towers are obviously they're green. That's why they're called the greens. But it's probably like a costume design choice. When Alicent was a child, when she was young, she would wear blue. So it's like kind of like a nod back to her childhood and like her wantingness to like stay away from the conflict and like be disassociated from the conflict and like not be.
She's reverting back.
She's just trying to like separate herself from the conflict. So that's why she's not wearing green, because when she's wearing green, she's very much
representative of high
representing exactly like when she showed up to the wedding, when she was like running around in episode 2 trying to like save her ass and save everyone else's ass. Like in episode 2 she was wearing green, same with Helena, but it's like in episodes leading since like it's been more and more blue.
When they tried to escape the city,
blue cape, like yeah, so that's another thing. Because I noticed when she was in the scene that she was just talking to Helena, her dress was very blue, and I'm like, oh, why is she wearing blue? And even my husband was like, aren't they green? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I looked it up, and that's why it's blue.
Okay.
So Alicent is now off to Harrenhal. And then Rhaenyra is, I guess she left Joffrey's room. She's traveling in the halls of the Red Keep, and Maester Orwell, he hands her a package and says there's been a delivery. And she opens it, and it's a Baratheon like vest or Baratheon like armor or costume or whatever.
Yeah.
And on it says, "Kick this dog and it will bite your hand." And at first I was like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting. What does that mean? But then the last scene of the episode, we see Corlys and his Valerian men. They seem to be having a moment of like, joyfulness, and they're singing sailor songs and all the things. And Corlys is, giving them a speech saying like, we've done well, but we have to go back to King's Landing now and help defend the city for Rhaenyra, and she needs us and all the things. And he's kind of looking off into the distance in another scene, and like in the same scene, but just another part of the scene. And he's looking off into the distance, and then he's kind of like ambushed by John Roxton, who is Ormond's man. And he's kind of taken down with a chain. And we don't know what happens to him, like, because we don't see what happens. He just gets taken out, and then you could kind of hear scuffle and whatever of the Valerian men, and then the scene ends.
Yeah, like I said, we talked about this at the start of the episode. I thought maybe this would have been his ultimate end, because I had predicted for a while now that this was going to happen to him, because they keep bringing up the fact that he's angry and he has all this hate, and like it's not going to do him any favors out there. But like you said, Ormond did say that he likes him. It was one of her smartest moves, Rhaenyra, having him as her hand. And especially especially after the note that they left about her hand, if you read into that, biting the hand, they probably are going to take him prisoner. I think you're right. Maybe they're going to take him prisoner. Maybe they're going to try to sway him over to their side, because he obviously doesn't like Rhaenyra right now. I guess we'll see how that plays out, right? I'm interested to see what happens with that next episode. But I thought it was I thought that he was done for, quite frankly. When I watched this the first time, I thought that's it for him. That's a wrap on Corlys. I've just been suspecting that he is going to die for a while now, but
I think he will like eventually die. Like once Ormond is like done with him, like when he's no longer of use. I don't think there's no world in which Corlys is going to escape.
No.
This and like, go back to Rhaenyra and all is like, well, I think
unless he starts working for the High Towers.
Yeah, but even he's done. Like once Ormond is done with his purpose with Corlys, he's.
I don't see him doing that. No matter how pissed off he is at Rhaenyra, though, I don't see him fucking joining them. I honestly think like.
No, I don't think so either.
You could say a lot about him, and
they'll kill him first.
Yeah, you could say a lot about him and his choice and their choices, and I don't see him turning.
But even on that sea, I mean, he was still doing his thing too, to protect the keep.
And his sons are now working with her. I don't see him doing that. I don't know.
Well, his sons that he doesn't acknowledge, right?
He acknowledges them. They won't acknowledge them.
Yeah, no. It only took him how many years, though?
Yeah, but whatever. We know this already. We know this to be the case, right? So let me put an end to this poll here. I think I already know the answer. Let me stop the poll here. We'll try to do one of these each episode. Okay, 100% no. Were you upset to see Kristen Cole get killed this episode? Although I'm sure if JT would have voted,
I didn't vote. Yes. I would have said I was a little upset.
So there you go. So that was only on the 2 votes that out of the viewers that entered it. Me and Christina would have probably also been on no, and Jay would have been yes. So that would have been 80% no, 20% yes on the votes then, if with all those counting. So there you go. That was fun. We'll have to try to put up a different poll every episode here. But anything else? Christina, great job going through the episode. I know it was a lot of work. I know you guys, she put that 13, 14 pages worth of notes together to get through this here today. It's no easy task. So really give it up to her. Great job to Christina taking us through the episode here today.
Nice.
Thank you. No, it was honestly, I love doing this. So
glad we get to see Cole be their best fighter in Westeros.
Yeah, hilarious. No, I really love this episode. Nico, I forgot to mention at the beginning, we talked about it off camera before the show started. I really loved this episode also because of all the like background Targaryen lore that like we got sprinklings of like throughout this whole episode. Like there was so much to talk about, so much extra stuff to look into. I mean, I could have gotten in like to so much detail, but like we're already at 2 hours and some odd minutes. Like I don't know how much more like we could really get into. Like, but this episode was great for that too.
There was a lot of stuff.
I had a lot. Yeah, I had a lot of fun like doing the notes for this one. So
But yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, listen, these have all been just over about 2 hours episodes. There's been a lot to cover. You guys in the chat have been great too, with all your theories and all of the participation that we've been seeing. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm really going to be sad when we're all done here in a couple of weeks until the next installment. I did mention earlier in the episode, I think it's been confirmed that the last season is going to be another 2 years away.
Diabolical.
Night of Seven Kingdoms should be back early New Year again next year. But other than that, other than the possibility that there's going to be another spinoff coming out next year, yeah, that's what we're getting, unfortunately. So we hope some of you guys return and check us out whenever we do record next after this is done in a couple weeks. Because yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a really great time, and we're gonna have to figure out what time we're recording off air here next week. But as usual, it'll be Tuesday or Wednesday night live here, and we've been putting out posts about it. Was it Aegon's Conquest that I saw was going to be one of the spinoffs?
That's what you mentioned.
Let me check while you guys talk. I'm going to double check something because I remember they had an outline of shows that have been shelved, shows that are in development, and shows that have been like announced. So there was like a great graph I found online of like all of the current standings, because you don't forget there's been like 10 shows or something that they've talked about they want to do, but half of them have got shelved. I really wish that they would get back to that. I really wish they would do a Jon Snow show. I know that there was a major interest in doing that show, and then it kind of just didn't go anywhere from there. I think they were kind of like that he didn't want to do it. He read the
script. Kit would have done it,
but the script wasn't where they wanted it to be.
They couldn't agree on the script.
Right.
And yeah, I was just going to mention, Brent, thank you for bringing that up. The Robert Rebellion play, they were going to do it. I think me and Ashley were talking about this. They're going to do it in London or something. There's like a Broadway play they were going to do and have it air in London. But the problem with that is, like, if you're going to show something like that and then do more TV shows or do more movies or something, not everyone is going to fly to London to see this show unless it's a traveling show, which I don't think they have the budget, the time, the energy for. And then it's like, okay, then are you going to air the Broadway show like Hamilton, like on TV? Like, I don't know how they're going to do that. I don't know why they would do that as a Broadway. Oh, they are. It is coming to the States. I don't know why they would choose that to do.
I have been seeing some headlines about
but I
this.
mean, they can go to a lot of places, not just, they might come up here.
Yeah, and if that's the case, I would love to see it and come here and chat about it, right, or whatever.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
But yeah, I have seen. That's the thing. A lot of the headlines have been misleading lately because it's either about the play or it's about the video game, like Jay said earlier that they're doing a phone game about it.
A lot of it's clickbait too, just to get you to look at it too, right?
Yeah.
Obviously.
What Ashley said here, this is what I had heard, and looking up right now. It says that Warner Brothers has confirmed that they've slotted projects like the Aegon's Conquest film in its broader 2027 and beyond production window. So I think they said it could be the first film that they put out, like a film.
I'd be happy with a movie. Like, I'd be so happy with a film.
And that'd be cool to come back here and talk about it. But whether or not we're actually getting that next year is the question. Now, there's a possibility, but they would have to probably start announcing it soon. Now, I don't know if they're waiting for this season to end to announce that. I think they really need to keep the ball rolling with a couple of projects a year with these spinoffs. Like, they need to, I think they've tested the waters. They see that they've been successful in doing other series. I think they got to keep it going. A 3-part movie. Okay. So is this going to be an HBO special movie then? Maybe. Geez. I see. I didn't hear this.
Wow, man, it'll be 50.
Well, it makes sense if they're slated like production to start in their 2027 lineup. Like, they're not going to be like, I'd be shocked if it comes out in 2030.
Yeah, I think it's a smart idea to branch off into plays or whatever else, but I just think that when there's so much ground to cover still, like I would think that plays should be at the bottom of their priorities right here with these shows, honestly, just because we still have been waiting so long for them to wrap this show up. So that's all I'm saying. I understand there's other needs and other appetites that they want to fulfill. Also, George R. Martin, not for nothing. Who the hell knows how long he's going to be alive for more? The guy hasn't even finished the books yet. Let's be like, right? Let's not forget. So, I mean, every time that you hear something about him these days, like, oh, he's working on a video game. I'm just like, oh my God, like, what's wrong with this guy?
Like, that would be so sad if it was only a theater release and like,
so it'll be like a 3-parter, like a Lord of the Rings type of deal or something like that. You think? Well, listen, there's an appetite for as many things as they can churn out, I think, amongst fans right now. And like anything, like these spinoffs, some things are going to be good, some things are going to be bad. I mean, it'll be fun to keep coming together to talk about this. I just wish it wasn't so few and far between that we're talking about these projects now, right? I mean,
yeah, I know.
Thank God for Night of the Seven Kingdoms, because that'll be back in the new year, so that's not too far.
Hopefully.
No, they will be. It will be. I have no doubt in my mind that'll be done. They're only 6.5-hour episodes, right?
Yeah.
77 years old. They better, yeah. So, well, listen, I think that's a whole other argument, because I think he's so disappointed in the reaction to the show that who knows if we'll ever get that, right? Or I think he's just going to, there's a possibility he's going to follow in a long line of fantasy writers that end up dying and not finishing their book. No, there's lots of series that. There's lots of series like that.
This is a series too that you can die at the end of the. You can die before the book even ends,
and it'll continue. Really. And it'll continue past his. Yeah, they'll still be churning out.
It'll live long past the shelf life.
Uncovering manuscripts of things that he never like put out, and you know what I mean. Like, yeah, exactly.
It'll be around
maybe we'll
somewhere.
Finally get the like vindicated like ending to Game of Thrones that we all need.
Yeah.
You know, where Bran the Broken isn't the one sitting on the fucking throne at the end of it all.
All right. Now we're just veering off into hate for Game of Thrones.
Excuse me?
Yeah, okay. Jay was a fan of that, okay? Don't forget. He's one of the only people that really enjoyed that.
Straight up.
Yeah.
It's probably because he didn't invest like 18 years of his life, like waiting for this fucking show to end.
It took me 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years of us doing this show. All right, so I guess all being said, though, we will be back here again next week with another live episode, guys. Either Tuesday or Wednesday. Stay tuned. We will confirm those details. We do have an Instagram. You can see us post on there at Late Night Chat Network, or you can follow us here on our YouTube channel. And I'm doing community posts lately to notify people of when these episodes come out, or you can just check the live. There's a live tab on our YouTube channel for live shows, and then you can see when that gets posted. I try to post it earlier in the day that we end up recording. So if you don't see it Tuesday, we'll be doing Wednesday, but we'll work out those details when we get a chance after the show here. So yeah, good stuff, guys. Another one in the can. Christina, once again, thank you for taking us through the details of this one. 2 more episodes ago. I
know.
So
thank you.
Yes,
Nico. Thank you, JT. Thanks to the comment section. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you to everybody for stopping through here tonight. There's some great numbers in the chat here.
Yeah.
All right, Jay, Christina. See you guys later. Thanks, everyone.
Peace out.
Welcome to the show, everybody.